whack job out in the newsroom, who actually vacations every year in Thailand, right?
No, he goes to Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
He goes to the red light district.
He likes him a little older.
No, he's actually an incredible guy. He doesn't smoke pot, and he's not into prostitution.
Oh.
But he goes to the red light district.
That's what he tells you.
That's like going to, I don't like baseball, but I go to Wrigley Field. I mean, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? And the whole idea is to go there where you...
By the way, to bolster the argument that people go to Sri Lanka and Thailand for youth sex, Oprah Winfrey's hairdresser or somebody, one of her friends, an interior designer, he was vacationing in Sri Lanka with his, as they describe it, his friend. Now his friend is missing, and Oprah has hired a bunch of Marines to look for his friend. But the two of them were vacationing on Sri Lanka. I mean, why the hell would you go all the way across the world to Sri Lanka to sit on a beach, if not to have, orgies with 8, 9-year-old kids?
He's right. That's a... I know.
What were you doing there? What was the point of going to Sri freaking Lanka?
Right. Well, isn't Sri Lanka a lush and very beautiful place?
So is Puerto Rico.
With this,
So St. Martin's.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
So's Hawaii.
Yeah. So's the Bronx.
Go to La Jolla, California.
Oh, La Jolla's gorgeous. San Diego, sure.
Yeah.
No, he's
there
right.
you go.
Jones Beach.
See,
In Bali, they have bars where you sit down at the bar, and it's like this little curtain where your knees are, and the curtain lifts up, and $10, you get yourself a drink, and you're good for the day. $10. And all the girls are like 11, 10, 9. You never even see them. They're under the baseboard.
Oh, okay, I don't even. We don't even.
Oh, serious?
I
know a bunch of pilots who used to fly in that airline.
whatever. I'm sure they did.
I mean, he's playing a little pocket pool right now. Despite his protestations.
You son of a bitch. It's 32 minutes past the hour here at the Imus Morning Program. The opening bell.
Crank up the
New York
yard,
Stock Exchange.
I'll get to the bell quick.
It's sponsored by Lebenthal.
we're talking perversions here, not anything that...
Lebenthal gets you a bond a day or something and buy one of them.
Get him in Bangkok.
A bond and a BJ.
Dow Jones Industrial Average up
oh, my God.
about $19. Crude oil selling at $43.75 a barrel. And, other than that, there's not much going on. So, God almighty, you guys are just...
Black Bear American Cheese and your ShopRite Deli have let the word out. There's a super party planned at your home Sunday, February 6th, the day of the big game in Jacksonville. When your friends hear about your new Sharp Aquos 37-inch high-definition liquid crystal television, they'll be arriving early. This party can happen if you enter ShopRite's Big Game Sweepstakes. You'll have the opportunity to win the Sharp Aquos 37 HD TV with a picture that's bigger, brighter, and more breathtaking than ever before. And a fabulous lunch buffet courtesy of ShopRite. 7 other lucky winners will receive Sharp 27-inch flat panel TVs or Sharp audio shelf systems. Look for details in the ShopRite Deli, and while you're there, ask for Black Bear American Cheese, made from a blend of natural cheese and other wholesome dairy ingredients. The recipe includes an extra measure of sharp aged cheese, which gives the finished product an exceptional creamy texture. Try Black Bear American Cheese in your next sandwich for a taste to remember, or try ShopRite Swiss, also available at the Slicing Deli. Entry deadline 1/22/05, no purchase necessary. ShopRite, always fresh, always for less.
Who can you trust for the rest of your life? For wonderful dreams and long cozy nights. Delivering faster, more value by far. We're always close by, wherever you are. We're the mattress professionals doing it right. Trust Sleepy for the rest of your life.
For over 75 years, more people have trusted Sleepy's than any other mattress store. And for one simple reason, Sleepy's won't rest until you're totally satisfied. From selection to price, guaranteed comfort to knowing advice, Sleepy's takes care of you.
So sleep in peace, enjoy the night. We'll share your smile at morning light. No need for wishing on a star. We have the largest choice by far. We're the mattress professionals doing it right. Trust Sleepy for the rest of your life.
Have you ever thought you'd like to buy and sell houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? Are you ready for a real home-based business that can get you out of the rat race and into financial freedom? Hi, this is Dolph DeRoos. I bought my first property at 17 without a penny to my name, and since then I've made millions in real estate. I have engineered a proven system to real estate buying that will show you how to buy money-generating properties so you'll never have to work again. Let me show you how you can get started right now. With my techniques, you can learn the secrets for spotting deals that come along on average once a week and pick up plenty of homes that generate lots of cash and become rich, very rich. Call 1-800-500-8979 anytime, 24 hours a day, and I'll send you a free tape that explains how easy it is. Instead of just making a living, let me show you how to make real money. Call 1-800-500-8979 and get your life back. Again, that's 1-800-500-8979.
It's Andy Davis for Snow Country. If you haven't been out on the slopes in the last couple of weeks, you'd be amazed on how deep and complete the snow coverage can be with a lot of good turning. Mountain Creek's ready with 28 runs. Tubing returns later this week. They'll also have some nighttime terrain until 9 o'clock at night at Mountain Creek. Camelback's ready with 19 trails. A demo day this weekend to try equipment on the snow before you buy. Catamount in the Berkshires with over 20 trails. Killington in Vermont, a little new snow for 37 miles. Smuggler's Notch with about 24 runs. More details are at snowcountry.com. I'm Andy Davis.
Morning, Sue.
Hi.
Smells like hickory.
It's my coffee. Want to try?
Yeah, sure. There's wood in here.
It's sawdust.
Sawdust?
Yeah, I like flavored coffee, but I'm trying to cut down on my carbs.
Ever heard of low-carb creamer?
Wouldn't taste the same. I'd rather have sawdust.
Tired of bland, low-carb substitutes? Try International Delight Creamers for a low-carb lifestyle. Same great taste, fewer carbs.
I think I have a sliver in my tongue.
Delight in every cup.
38 minutes past the hour here in the Imus Morning program. 22 minutes till the next hour as I fell asleep here at the radio station. Not paying attention to what the hell's going on.
Well, you're sick.
Yeah, that's right. Who's going to be on this program tomorrow, Bernard? Do you know yet?
We are Phil Simms. We're efforting Senator Lieberman.
Right.
Who is...
So just shaping him as a real loser Thursday, right?
Took the oath of office yesterday. Once again. It could be a loser Thursday. No, Phil Simms, a loser Thursday?
Yeah.
Not at all.
And Lieberman.
A very exciting NFL weekend coming up.
Oh, God, please.
Senator Lieberman gives his thoughts on torturing Arabs.
Man, that doesn't... What does that sound like to you, Sid? If I'm saying to you, hey, guess who's on Imus tomorrow? Phil Simms and Joe Lieberman. I'm thinking, just Stern on satellite yet.
Yeah. I'm,
All right, we're open to suggestions.
Anybody.
Okay.
Well, bring on Bill
Starting
O'Reilly.
with-
How about Bill O'Reilly? Didn't he once talk about, didn't he once go to Thailand or something? Didn't he want, in this whole thing, he talked about having sex with the brown people and all that? And,
Yes.
remember that?
Yes, that was
Yeah,
involved
all right.
in that.
He'll come on and talk about
in his
that.
recent episode.
Yeah, he's going to be happy to come on and talk about that.
He'll be on. He'll be on tomorrow.
Idiot.
And we'll
talk
have,
about
we'll
that,
have
though.
Brian Williams again from Indonesia.
He doesn't going to get eaten by a tsetse fly.
And the boy was beating out the bugs this morning, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
That was
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, what else going on in the world, Charles? What's going on in Iraq?
In Iraq today, there's a report from now, a Polish officer representing the multinational force in Iraq. We have differences in how many people were killed in the latest suicide car bombing. He says at least 10 police officers were killed in the car bombing today to the south of Baghdad. He says 41 other people were injured, and the number of casualties could increase.
What kinds of cars are these, by the way, they're blowing up? Are they nice cars or no?
Whatever.
Well, no, I know.
One
Whatever.
guy I saw, they even had film, of a guy packing artillery shells into the back of an SUV of some sort. So, the figures conflict with earlier police reports in this incident of at least 20 dead. But the bomb went off outside a police academy in a city south of Baghdad during a graduation ceremony there. Today's bloodshed brings the death toll to at least 90 in the last 4 days alone.
Oh, God.
And the latest out of the area hit by the tsunami, Secretary of State Powell says the devastation that he saw was worse than a war zone. Said the power of this wave to destroy everything in its path, to literally scour some of the landscape absolutely clean from crops, bridges, homes, what have you, was amazing.
Traveling, by the way, at the speed of a jet plane.
While it was still out in the open ocean, yes, up to 500 miles an hour.
Well, how fast does it go when it hits shore?
30, 40, they figured.
That's enough.
Oh, absolutely. When you figure what's a square foot of water? 64 pounds? And you have tons and tons and tons of water in this wave that was anywhere from 12 to 30 feet tall. I mean, you can't imagine the kind of power that was involved. Mr. Powell made the comments after taking this half-hour helicopter tour over a stretch of coastline near Banda Aceh, where entire city blocks had been scoured clean by these enormous waves. Governor Bush of Florida also toured the area with Powell, looking visibly shaken when he got back and saying it was just, his word, heartbreaking. Residents were expressing gratitude, though, for the two officials' visit. One man saying, "We need all the help we can get." Germany dramatically increasing its financial aid to the tsunami area. Chancellor Gerhard Schroeder now pledging $674 million, which is a significant jump from his previous pledge, Germany's previous pledge of $27 million, and puts it second only, or actually above now, the Japanese. Japan's commitment was $500 million.
I just should send a note suggesting that, essentially, it's about time to pin a note to your sweater, your members-only jacket.
To whose?
Yours.
Why?
And go push it down at the dog track a little.
What's the problem?
It's over.
Hope somebody recognizes
What seems to be your issue here?
I don't know. It just seems like...
Square footage of the water was
that was the kind
a
of...
little terrifying.
The fact,
No,
I
it's
mean...
very impressive. Come on.
The fact that there's just almost, there's nothing you don't know.
Oh,
it's
my
just...
God.
Is,
what are you watching at night?
I mean, how is it that you know this?
I don't know.
Well, no, I know you don't know. But I mean, that's why whenever I ask you something, and on the rare occasion, when you say to me you don't know, I'm actually stunned.
You get mad, actually.
Yeah, I get angry. Because I know that I can't imagine this you don't know.
Well, square
Some
footage,
people aren't quite as shallow as other people.
No, but he goes above and beyond.
Yeah, I mean,
We're watching college football on a Tuesday night.
The water level
two
will
unknown, stupid teams.
rise and then it get lower.
Some people sit down and read a book and learn something. Some people won't just read Rolling Stone magazine for an hour at night. Some people actually sit down and read something interesting.
What were you
learn
doing?
stuff.
What were you doing last night, Einstein?
Yeah.
I was masturbating. And then I was reading American Brutus about John Wilkes Booth. To be serious.
So was I, but it was the centerfold of Scientific American.
16 till the hour here in the Imus in the Morning program.
Look at those waves.
Here's Mike, the brother from Staten Island. Good morning, Mike.
Yeah, what's the deal?
I don't know, baby. What's up with you?
What's up? What's really, really good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to welcome Bo T, my man Bo T, into the brotherhood, man. I saw those pictures, man. He's no doubt, man. That's my brother, man. Bo T is my brother, you know what I mean?
Bo Dietl did reveal that he is of African-American heritage, yes.
Yeah, no doubt. What's MSNBC doing, man? I was looking around for this, you know what? The tsunami, right? And they got this MSNBC investigates and headliners and legends. What's up with that, yo?
Well, I think they're trying to.
I'm looking around for the tsunami. Nobody could take them serious as a news, doing news. If they're gonna be doing this headliners, I don't want to hear about Oprah Winfrey and Chris Rock. I want to know about the tsunami, Anna. I want to know about what's going on right now.
No, I agree with you.
Oh, no. Oh, what up, family? We agree on something? No doubt, yo. You the man, yo.
Okay, dog. Here's Paul from the car phone who says Charles is wrong about the square foot of water. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, man. Hey, listen.
What?
A square foot of water doesn't weigh anything because there's no volume to it. It has to be a cubic foot of water.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
So while you're extolling McCord's genius, maybe somebody should get the facts right.
Maybe you should drive your car into a bridge.
Into some water.
Yeah, into some water.
Only if you're in the passenger seat, my friend.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
What do you do for a living, Paul?
I'm sorry?
What do you do to earn a living?
Unfortunately, I'm a lawyer. How about yourself? What do you do?
I talk dirty on the radio.
Oh, well, thanks so much. At least you make life worth living. Take care, man.
14 till they are here in the Imus Morning program. I talked to Joe Tacopina this morning.
How's he doing? How's old Joseph having?
Oh, Tack's doing great. He's doing great.
Now that he's not going to Washington.
No, he's not.
I spoke to Mr. Tacopina off the air.
Yep.
In which Mr. Tacopina, as an officer of the court, swore at me.
He did, actually.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
What had you said to him, though, to...
I called him a mob lawyer.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
She took some offense at it.
Yes.
So. Appropriately so, by the way.
Yeah.
But, and I call Mike Weber a mob lawyer, too, so they all are. So, anyway, what else going on, Charles?
Hey, stop giving the Germans, by the way, credit for sending money over there when you know that that guy that stole that kid out of the hospital yesterday, that Swedish kid, was a Nazi also. Another German.
He was, he was described
German.
as he was seen in the company of, as they described him, a mysterious German.
That's correct. So.
And another child.
Well, whatever. So I'm just saying.
This young Swedish lad who was taken
That's right.
Out of a hospital, evidently, and their fears are that he has been abducted and perhaps into that...
It might be just slightly inappropriate, Sid, for you to be chastising McCord about anything.
I'm just saying. Take it easy. Don't give too much credit to the Germans.
Well...
They killed 6 million of mine not that long ago.
Hey.
No, I would concur with Sid on that one, by the way.
Perversion knows no boundaries.
That's true. Bernie's Irish.
International or otherwise, however.
You're right.
Well, now, why do you want to drag Bernie into this?
Why don't you just leave me out of it? By the way, it's a nice thing the German government did. Give them credit.
Certainly.
Oh, so if they give him $50 million but steal 6 kids.
Nobody said they didn't do it as a nation. It wasn't sanctioned. What did Ethel and Julius Rosenberg, we didn't bomb Israel after they gave up our secrets. Did we?
Well, you wanted to, but no, we didn't.
Oh, I wasn't alive.
Right.
It's just to making
Too
a point.
bad you are now, Sid. 12 minutes till the hour.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you Imus in the morning.
In 2005, now it is 2005, and the world of communications is exploding with all kinds of opportunities in radio and TV announcing, sportscasting right here in this program. The internet, acting, multimedia, voiceovers, editing, producing. Come on here. You can be part of the fun. Start by calling 1-800-TV Radio for Connecticut School of Broadcasting with 12 campuses in Stratford, Farmington, and Pawcatuck, Connecticut, Hasbrook Heights and Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Westbury, Long Island is also in Boston, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Tampa, Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale. Connecticut School of Broadcasting, you learn by doing, from radio and TV pros in a matter of months, not years. They've been doing it for 40 years, and they can get you a job in radio or TV, and you'll be pretty happy. 1-800-TV Radio, you could call them, or go to their website at 1-800-TV Radio, that would be the website. Their phone number is 1-800-887-2346, the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. Good outfit. North Fork Bank, well, that was a great outfit. And they've revolutionized banking by doing it by going old school, as Chuck said. So, John Canis and the people at Norfolk probably had some experience with other banks dealing with them, and, thought, man, that's not the way to do business. Shouldn't we have somebody at the bank like we do out here on Long Island, our little old country bank, who's willing to talk to the customers? Well, now they have 350 branches at North Fork Bank filled with people working there who are willing to talk to you when you come in with your money, or you can go in there and talk to people at North Fork Bank about their money. Maybe you can borrow some from them or something. There's a reason they have 350 branches, and they're all over the place. North Fork Bank, member FDIC, check them out online at nfb.com. Look for the green North Fork logo on billboards, TV, inside taxi cabs, on coffee cups. They're all over the place. You're coming over the 59th Street Bridge. Now look over there in the distance. On the horizon, there's a big old North Fork Bank logo. Exactly. Al Martin.
Does going to the doctor make you nervous? Does sitting in a dentist chair make you crazy? Does flying make you want to jump out of your skin, if not the plane? Do social situations make you reach for alcohol? Are you carrying pills for anxiety or depression in your pocket or purse right now? Have you heard these radio commercials before and said, hey, that's me, and yet you haven't called for this free tape? Are you really willing to let anxiety rob you of happiness and confidence forever? Do you want to continue to depend on alcohol or medication for relief? You've only got one life. Do you know there really is a better way? Please, call right now for a wonderful free tape that
that could change your life and show you how to help yourself. Help is just a phone call away. Call 1-800-600-9202 for this wonderful free tape. That's 1-800-600-9202. Call 1-800-600-9202.
Something new is happening.
You old fool. You're on line 3. It's John from Long Island.
See you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, you old nut. Well, Sid's on the program. That's the point.
But,
Here's John from Long Island on line 3. Good morning, John.
Comment about Tom Brokaw. Everybody's falling over themselves about how a terrific guy he is, but nobody brings up the fact that he defamed Richard Jewell during the Olympics, and also that he had a pretty weak excuse for not serving in the military, flat feet. I guess he didn't try too hard to get in. I served with flat feet.
Yeah. Flat feet didn't keep him from going on all these hikes and climbing these mountains, did it?
No, that's right.
Yeah, very good. Very good point, John.
Yeah.
Here on line 4, I immediately sell out my friend Tom Brokaw.
Boy, no kidding.
I mean, just
no defense at all.
And with no prompt.
Complete agreement with the caller with his absurd observations.
Here's Lewis from Long Island on line 4. Good morning, Lewis.
Good morning. How are you, Imus? How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Sid should get an apology from Bernard. There's no man should stand for having his wife being called a whore. To his face on the air to millions of people. Yeah, we know he got his face rearranged, but not for nothing, Sid. Stick up for yourself. It's not fair to your wife either.
Well, Sid is such a gutless worm.
Well, we know that.
That he's not even in the studio to defend himself.
What did he walk out and go crying?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So.
Oh, his tail is between his legs now.
Are you willing to apologize, Bernard?
If he's willing to apologize for making fun of nuns, absolutely.
Okay, well, next time we see Sid, if he ever comes back in the studio, why?
He's got to be listening, right? You have it broadcasting through the air there?
We'll address these issues. 23 after the hour with a little news now. Chuck McCoy, morning, Charles.
Morning, Iman. Relief supplies are flowing into Banda Aceh, Indonesia, but one UN aid official worries the help won't reach the people who need it most. Charlie Higgins says it's believed some 800,000 people are in desperate need of emergency assistance, but he says officials don't have a great detail about where the people actually are or how to assist them. There are also concerns over logistical and political hurdles. A long-running conflict between separatist rebels and government troops in the Aceh province could complicate the relief effort. Another fear is that money and goods may be stolen by corrupt officials in the region. Meantime, at a military airstrip in Banda Aceh, hundreds of workers are sorting through thousands of boxes of rice and baby milk and instant noodles, all that sort of thing. One worker says it looks like a mess, but he calls it actually an orderly system of chaos, orderly chaos. And the death toll is still figured at 150,000 or so now, but officials are concerned that figure could double if disease now hits the affected nations. State Department says 36 Americans apparently were killed by the tsunami, at least that number. And the number of dead Americans, concerned about this, that it could increase as officials follow up on more than 3,000 inquiries they've received about people, Americans, who are still unaccounted for.
Too bad you're not one of them, Sid.
What?
Unaccounted for.
I thought you brought me in here because Bernie was going to apologize to me.
Well, you have to apologize for the nun remark.
What about it?
Well, suggesting there were no hot nuns.
What does that mean? That doesn't mean they're not great people. They're great people. They do a very nice job. They serve God on a daily basis, but they're just nasty.
There you go.
There you go.
I mean, well, you going to apologize about what you said?
You first.
All right, I apologize for banging your wife in Weehawken last week.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that.
You're beyond a pig.
That's weak.
Anyway, Imus Ranch Foods, sponsored by New York Hospital Queens, a member of the New York Presbyterian Healthcare System.
At least my wife doesn't have sex with other guys while the baby's in the room.
Oh!
Like yours. By the way, it's a good baby.
With cutting-edge programs and leading specialists in all fields of
Put
medicine.
a bottle in her mouth and she shuts right up.
You can order Imus Ranch food products right from the Imus Ranch at 1-888-284-IMUS on your telephone, and they'll send gift packs of them. They're neat stuff. In fact, we got one for Christmas ourselves.
Really?
From Vinnie Andrews, the Andrews people.
Very nice.
And it had a bag of Imus Ranch coffee, some turquoise Belfort tortilla chips, some balsamic vinaigrette Imus Ranch dressing, and some Imus Ranch salsa. It was all, well, I'd had it before, but... And right there in the box it says all after-tax profits from the sale of Imus Ranch products go to the Imus Cattle Ranch for Kids with Cancer, which in fact is true. All sponsored by New York Hospital, Queens, a member of the New York Presbyterian Healthcare System. 26 minutes after the hour. What else going on, Charles?
Attorney General nominee Alberto Gonzales facing some tough questions today, doubtless, at his confirmation hearings, I-Man.
When do they start?
I don't have an hour on it here.
Is it in the House or Senate?
Senators are expected to ask Gonzales about his views on the interrogation methods used for terror suspects. In his role as White House counsel, some of the most pointed criticism coming from some former military commanders who say U.S. policies on interrogation undermined American intelligence gathering efforts and added to the risks facing U.S. troops around the world.
Why Weehawken? I mean, where did that come from?
You know, I don't know. I passed it on the way to work, and
Yeah, you passed it many times,
right.
probably.
That's the first city that came to mind.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, what do you think I said, Weehawken?
I don't know.
No. Okay.
Just wondered.
Yeah.
Just
That's right outside the Lincoln Tunnel.
They got those short stays.
Yes, they do.
It involves sex with you, and it has the word "we" in it. Maybe there's some connection there.
Yeah.
Chuck?
Help?
Chuck knows Weehawken. Chuck knows Weehawken.
Oh, sure.
He passes out on the way to Wayne, New Jersey every day.
I got his card on file there.
Right.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Mr. McCord, nice to see you again. Will it be 3 hours again?
Congress plans to certify the results of the presidential election today by counting the electoral votes from each state. Some House Democrats plan to raise questions about voting irregularities during today's tally, but Republicans aren't expected to let the challenge go very far, as though it would under any circumstances. And a U.S. Marine accused of being a deserter has disappeared again. Remember the guy, Corporal Wasef Ali Hassoun?
No.
Failed to return? The guy who...
I don't remember.
Who dropped out of sight in Iraq, then turned up at what appeared to be a hostage tape, and then they found him in Lebanon later.
Yeah, I remember.
All that whole deal.
He just can't be having a guy named Corporal Ali Wasef Hassoun fighting, in Iraq.
Well, here's the deal. He failed to return to his North Carolina base on Tuesday of this week after what's said to be an authorized leave over the New Year's holiday to visit his family in Utah, so he is now labeled a deserter once again.
I think I saw him at Weehawken last week, by the way.
During the act that you described?
I think so.
I don't understand the Weehawken, why we're all giggling at Weehawken.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Do you, Charles?
No. Weehawken's a lovely place with a wonderful view of Manhattan from Weehawken Heights.
A lot of prostitutes there, though. Lots.
Are there?
Right outside the Lincoln Tunnel. Sure. Absolutely.
Oh, that's the reference.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for explaining it.
Now we know.
Well, I just figured you guys knew that. Well, okay. I see you're playing dumb. I got it.
We don't know Weehawken. We don't live in stupid New Jersey.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You do live out in Long Island.
You picked the city really quick off the top of your head.
With your buddy Maloney and all the rest of the wife murderers. Chopping up bodies out there, throwing them into the ocean. I know that deal.
What else, Charles?
Yeah, just anything, man. Just anything at all. How about attorneys for actor Robert Blake are targeting how police handled potential evidence in the case in the days after Mr. Blake's wife's death. Prosecutors allege he played some role in the 2001 shooting death of Bonnie Lee Bakley and will call more witnesses today. Yesterday, under questioning, police said the clothes the actor wore the night of the shooting sat uncovered for a couple of days in a squad car. And that suggests the items were open to some sort of contamination.
Oh, of course.
And would call into question any test results
Mark Furman deal
that were conducted on him.
Here on line one is Sean from New Jersey. Good morning, Lon. Sean.
Hey, I was just wondering, while walking around London with your silk tie and your purple velvet jacket, did any Londoners mistake you for Elton John's grandfather?
Here on line two is Doug. Yes, they did. Here's Doug the Slug from Connecticut. Good morning, Doug.
Hello, man. I just wanted to say to Sid, it was funny how that caller Lou from Long Island called up and wanted Bernie to apologize. He probably has one of them phony hairdo plastic Jap wives out in the island, too.
Well, I'm just... I don't know, this has turned so ugly here this morning. Why can't we just...
oh, man.
I mean, why do we need this level of vitriolic discourse with you people? That's the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange. Here, trying to jack the program up. Sponsored by Leventhal, Leventhal's bond of the day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average has opened about $1.50 down. NASDAQ is up around $7, not quite, but so we'll see what happens, obviously, the rest of the day. We'll pick a football game for Sid Rosenberg, or maybe we won't. You know, I saw a do two on a...
Night on January 20th at the Grand Hyatt
Around the country on MSNBC. Well, we've decided to go to cover the inauguration, at least that day, that morning, in Washington, D.C. We're going to get on the NetJet iJet at 4 in the morning, Charles and I, and press Mark.
Zip down there.
Fly down to Dulles because they won't let us land at National. And go to the site, broadcast, and come back. The reason we're doing that morning, and the reason we're doing that is because I gave them an impossible guest to book, and they booked the guest.
Got it done.
So,
yep.
We're resurrecting Chandra Levy, just for you guys.
Yeah. So, I think it'll be, well, it will be it'll be a fun program. It's not that I don't think they should have an inauguration. It's just that I think that, and I understand that there's a lot of money around, and that they raised $50 million, as Bubba and 41 pointed out, and it doesn't take 1 cent away from, say, the tsunami relief efforts, and I understand that. But it's just the
perception thing.
It's a perception thing for me, and I just think it's disgraceful. When I talked to Senator Chris Dodd this morning, and he is unaware, this is not a dope, by the way, he's unaware that veterans that the kids at Walter Reed Army Hospital have to pay for their telephone calls home, which seems insane to me.
And he voted for the war.
Oh, of course.
Certainly was unaware of a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's just disgraceful. And if you're using Iraqi campaign buttons as armor for your vehicles, as John Stewart pointed out, then maybe you could take that $50 million that they've raised. I mean, it's the whole point. It's just, of course, they should have their inauguration, and then maybe they should have one ball. And they could all go there and
scale back,
do their funky chicken thing, or whatever those fat white guys do, and fat white pink losers all sit around there and do the funky chicken or the twist, which I guess they still do.
You know, you make me want to shout.
Yeah, and they have some Motown cover band there. I mean, you can't make up how stupid it is.
A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now.
It's like almost any event you would go to, either on Long Island, northern New Jersey, or Connecticut, or perhaps in your part of the country, where they have somebody there playing Papa Was a Rolling Stone, and you're supposed to get out and shake your thing. And it's beyond, it's so stupid it hurts my hair. So
a couple of cocktails, no more fun in the world.
It's just, and to have to sit there and watch that, which I've done on a couple of occasions.
Because you don't drink.
Yes. Even when I drank, it was tedious.
Stuff to take.
So it's tough watching them from the floor.
Well, I haven't heard from George Carlin, not that I thought I would, because I remember when I was in rehab, it's been almost 20 years ago, but still, and I'm not sure, I don't know how hardcore the rehab he's in is, but they're reticent to allow phone calls and those kinds of things until you can sort of get your feet on the ground, get that Jones off your situation. But hope the boy do all right. I think he will. So it's got to occur to him, though, that he's 67 years old, which is out down the road a ways. And you don't need to be sitting there because you've been popping too many Vicodin and drinking wine. I mean, that's just stupid.
It didn't affect his productivity. In fact, it enhanced it. He actually, he said in his, in his little memo that now he's done all his work for the year. It's time to take care of himself. So maybe now he won't be funny anymore.
That's just not true.
You can just be sitting there with a glass of wine, a couple of Vicodin in him, just popping out these weird thoughts. I mean, where do you think they come from? Give him a little energy, inspiration.
Well, they're both downers.
No, well, Vicodin gives you, you mix
I
it
took
with
a lot of Vicodin, I know.
You mix it with some alcohol, and
I didn't do that.
Gives you energy, euphoria, a false sense of, whatever.
Well, Vicodin itself puts you to sleep almost.
Nah. That way, you mix it with a couple of cocktails. Look, I'm telling you, it's different. It's not like taking a Valium. It's not a sedative.
Well, I've taken a lot of them. I know what they do. I haven't taken them with alcohol, though.
Do they affect different people?
Obviously, they must, yeah.
This is what he said. He did a lot of work. He wrote a book. He's got his HBO special ready. Now he can chill.
Here's Heather from L.A. on line 2. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning. I wish I could take a Vicodin right now.
What do you do in L.A.?
I write.
Okay.
And I take care of children.
Okay.
I like Jon Stewart as well. And what was really disgusting what Star Jones said about, not being in the tsunami, she said, God blessed us. And then Jon Stewart said, God blessed you. God took 150,000 lives. Not taking you was an oversight. And I thought that was funny. You know what I'm saying? I can't sell it like he does.
Yeah, I know. We watched it. I mean, we watched the tape of it. We ran it 2 or 3 times. The first time I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
But she actually looked at the camera and winked and said, God blessed us. She's so disgusting.
God didn't take 150,000 people. Here we go again with the liberal spin.
No.
The anti-religious.
No.
Liberal.
No, you bald-headed stooge. That's not what Heather's saying.
No.
That's what Jon Stewart said.
No.
Leave Jon Stewart alone, you jerk.
No, no. He was mocking her for saying
Yes,
that.
That's the point.
And then making a joke.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then
That's
the
your
joke.
interpretation.
Heather, I want you to come to New York and beat the hell out of Bernard, okay? Will you?
All right, I'm on my way.
All right, baby. Here on line 4, Joe the cop. What up, dog?
Morning, Don. How are you feeling today?
You don't care how I'm feeling.
You're damn right about that, kid.
Okay, what's up? Why aren't you out and arresting crack addicts?
I'm feeling a little under the weather.
Oh, okay, what's the matter?
I'm not feeling well. I got a lot of things going on. I got some health issues I got to deal with.
Well, what are your symptoms?
3 stents in an artery in my heart, for starters.
That's not good.
No, that's not great.
Are you fat?
Am I fat?
No.
Are you asking me, do I look like, what's his name, Carol O'Connor in The Heat of the Night?
Yes.
No, I don't. They asked me, do I look like Jackie Gleason in The Honeymooners? No. I am jacking around a little extra weight since I quit smoking, but I'm not fat, no.
I need you to take care of yourself.
Yeah, you're a radio personality, right? Are you an ugly radio personality?
No.
Oh, okay.
What do you want?
Well, what I want, Don, what I want is the winning numbers to next Saturday's New York State Lottery and a wild, wet weekend with Elle McPherson, but that's not why I called.
No, and I'll give you the winning numbers for the lottery. How many numbers do you need?
That'd be great. 6 would be nice.
6? All right.
Yeah.
17. 23. 40.
Listen, sir.
Yeah.
Did you get my Christmas card?
No.
I'm bummed. to send you.
Don't you want the numbers?
I thought you did. Let's give me all the numbers.
17, 23, 40, 64. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 98.
98.
And 6.
Honey, refinance the house. We got the winning number.
Okay.
Listen, what's what Maureen Dowd wanted? My kids were reading me her column this morning. I don't understand what the hell she's wanting about. I really don't. I love this girl. And you turned me on to her years ago.
Yeah.
I would never have read the New York Times were it not for you talking about how screamingly funny she is.
Yeah.
But the next time something happens in this country, Maureen Dowd and all these other liberals are going to be begging us to go out there and find these bastards and just torture them for everything they got.
Well, here's the thing about what we've learned about Maureen Dowd is that, one, she's dealing with not a coke habit. She's dealing with a legal pad of issues.
I
mean,
a whole legal painful, huh?
She is dealing with, the P word, a plethora of issues. Man, the girl got some issues. She has to. That she's waking up every morning having to deal with.
All right, man.
And two, on some occasions, she mails it in.
Okay. Well, listen, I need you to slap her around when you get down there to Washington.
No. I'm not going to slap her around.
Figuratively, he means.
I understand what you're saying.
Yes, not literally.
But enough of them are good. But she's, as my wife points out, accurately, I think, she's so agenda-driven.
No, not Maureen.
That sometimes it does get annoying.
Okay. And at least, unlike John Stewart, she doesn't hide that fact.
Well, that's just true.
What is John Stewart hiding?
The agenda, the liberal agenda.
Why are we on
he
John
and his writers
Stewart?
are driven? Because
John Stewart
because you and
what
the
did John Stewart ever do to you?
Blowing the guy this morning.
You can't stand it because
no.
I resent that, by the way.
It's the dishonesty.
We can't.
The Dan Rather, like I'm playing it straight down the middle. Dishonesty that offends me.
I admire John Stewart, and so does Charles, for his performing ability. The guy is brilliant.
But let's call it the Daily Liberal Show.
Whatever. That's fine.
Like we should call it the CBS Liberal News.
Or whatever.
All right, but they don't do that, see?
It's fake news.
People like Frank Rich. It's not fake news. It's not fake news. They bash Bush constantly. They bash anything Republican constantly. It's not fake.
Oh, my God. You are
nothing fake about it.
I'm real happy I called, boys.
I hope your heart gets okay.
Thanks, man.
All right, 13 till the hour. Joe the cop from Brooklyn is not taking care of himself, obviously.
Apparently not.
So, but there's been a reliable caller for years, and he has never, in fact, brought all that much to the table. But
why slam him now?
Well, I'm just saying.
He was fine.
Not like that guy who calls from... Is it Mamaroneck or whatever? The guy called from the bridge one time? That guy's a scream.
There's a few of them out there.
Yeah, there's a few out there pretty good. And then there's Mike the brother, Dennis the Puerto Rican, and Joe the cop, who are... They're 10 minutes to 10 guests. That's what they are.
So you really don't care very much about the 9 o'clock hour.
Yeah, they're a bridge to whatever the sports animal in Albuquerque is doing at 10, and every other station in the country that carries this program. So, if you understand what I'm saying.
Now I know I'm dirty, and I know I smoke a lot of dope. But it ain't like I'm going on TV and tearing up pictures of the Pope. I know I get wild, and I know I get drunk, but it ain't like I've got a bunch of bodies in my trunk. My old man used to call me the no-good punk, and I still don't know why. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm an alright guy. I just wanna live till I gotta die. I know I ain't perfect, but God knows I try. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm alright. I'm alright. Imus in the morning.
With the harmony, the matching process wasn't something that put any...
Beamer.
Really?
Yes. You can get a full-blown BMW.
Really?
For $289 a month.
So maybe I'll just take this Volvo to Bergen Beach and blow it up and go get myself a BMW.
I wouldn't be driving a Volvo.
No, of course not. Well, I'm not going to be driving a Volvo for very long either. They tried to take it away from me already once.
What do you mean?
Why don't you have any license plate?
Because it's a new car. It's a brand new car. I just got it.
Oh.
So it has the temporary tags in the back in the window.
Don't new cars come with license plates? I mean, I've always gotten a license plate with my
they
new
come
car.
with temporary tags.
No, you get the paper thing first.
Yeah, right, exactly.
No, I didn't notice those there.
Yeah, no, they're there. They're there.
Oh.
They've been there. They've been there for quite some time.
Have they expired?
Yes. They've expired.
They're only good for like a couple of weeks.
They're good
right?
for 30 days. That's
30 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, where are your license plates?
Well, here's the thing. You see, I haven't gotten them yet because now they're very strict with the whole Patriot Act and everything. When you have to send in your license, they have to make sure they can see every detail on the license.
Sure.
So the dealer keeps asking me to send back the license with a copy so I can get the actual license plates. And every time I send back the license, there's some piece of information that they can't read. So now I sent back the license.
Because of the quality of the facts or what?
Exactly right. So now 3 or 4 times I've sent back my license, and they keep saying, no, not good enough, send it back again. And the next thing you know, those things in my window are like 3 months old.
You're a dysfunctional white trash moron. I drive out of my Merrick Dodge dealership with license plates on the car.
No.
Yeah.
No, because I live in Jersey and I got it from a Brooklyn dealership.
Did you buy a new car, Bernie?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you gave you your place right there.
All the time. I bought the 3 cars from Merrick Dodge. You drive right out of the dealership with the plates on. Everything taken care of. No problem.
Why are we plugging Merritt Dodge?
Oh.
What's that all about? I mean, you mentioned Merritt Dodge now 3 times.
They advertise here at the station.
No, but it sounds to me like you're trying to take care of them.
Well, no, not at all. They happen to be great people, great dealership, owned by Daimler Chrysler. Same people who own Jeep. It's just, they take care of things.
Yeah, but
if you have your ducks in a row, you're all right, unless you're a half a loser who doesn't know what's going on.
Or a half a liar like you, because there's not a dealer in the world. If you don't register the car, you're not driving out with the plates the same day you get the car, you idiot.
Every time I get the car, I
why
drive out.
No.
That's a lie.
Why is name-calling necessary?
Because he's making up stuff. You know
I'm not making it up.
Why does it degenerate to immediately, instantaneously, to name-calling?
Yeah, and right away, it's my fault. Hey, how about bringing on somebody? Is it my fault that the tag's expired and they get my plates yet? No, it's a dealer's fault.
No, it's always somebody else's fault.
Yeah, I'm not taking the blame for this. And I'm the one who got busted, and I'm the one who got my car towed up the Palisades Parkway, and I'm the one taking flack for my wife at home, and you here.
Are you the one who makes a copy of your license to send in?
Yes, I do.
Well, why don't you just look at it to see if you can read all the information?
Bernard, a putz is not helpful.
Listen, let me tell you something,
It doesn't advance the intellectual ambiance that we try to establish on the program.
No, it coarsens it.
I'm not taking responsibility for this. I'm not. I'm not paying the tickets, and I'm not going to court.
We have 2 dignified people this morning. Ann Coulter, Governor Bill Richardson.
Who?
Ann Coulter.
Is that blonde bimbo, the one who's got the nice body and the long hair?
Yes.
Yeah, she's aight.
She cool.
Yeah.
She ain't no bimbo.
No, what is
smart girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll run verbal circles around your little pea brain.
Got about the 4 Nobel Peace Prizes she's got lined up in her house.
Well, no, maybe she hasn't won. She may not have won one of those yet.
You're right.
But
I'll tell you what she does.
She's the one Craig Crawford had the
affair with.
I don't know whether he's had an affair with her or not.
No, I doubt it.
But he bought 15 Ann Coulter dolls.
I doubt she's into puffy, Coke bottle glasses wearing liberals.
She's also the one who wrote that thing about Serena and Venus Williams in a book after I said it like 3 years ago.
No, that's not what she wrote. No.
Oh my God!
No. But that was misrepresented. She didn't write that. She was reporting on what somebody said.
Oh.
You tried to hang it on her, and we went to read it, and discovered that it wasn't something that she had said at all. That Ann Coulter had said at all.
Is that true, Bernie?
I'll have to. I need to be refreshed.
Look at the book.
She didn't say anything slanderous.
No, she didn't.
No, of course not.
She was reporting something, as I recall.
I mean, she's about as delusional as Ted Kennedy.
Sure.
From her, or Chris Dodd, or any of those people, except she's over there on the other side of the philosophical aisle. But that's fine.
Got a different flavor Kool-Aid.
Yeah, but she's energetic and whatever she's going to be on.
Yeah.
She has a big book called How to Talk to a Liberal If You Must. Haha. And it's been on the Times list for a long time. May still be there.
She married?
I don't know.
How old is she? I think she's out there.
Oh, she's got to be in her 40s by now, right?
I don't think so.
No, come on.
How old is she?
Shut up.
I would say
like 30 years old.
30-something.
Yeah.
30-something.
And she's not married yet?
And
I don't know whether she's
very
married or not. I'm not looking for a date.
Maybe she's just a bust-out lesbian. How about that? You ever think about that?
But it doesn't have enough.
No, I can confirm that she's not.
Oh yeah, how could you do that?
I know she dates guys. It's a fact.
Give me one.
I don't have to give you anything. I'm going to give you one, all right? I'll give you one boot up your hairy butt.
How about another beating like he did before?
Yeah. I'm almost ready. I'm almost ready for Fear at the Pier 2.
Good. I think it's getting
I would love to do it again. I swear I would. I would love to do it again.
No, you're
I'm in much
not
better
more than
shape.
I would.
I am in much better shape this time around. I've lost weight. I'm just telling you, I would love to do it again, and I guarantee a different outcome. I guarantee a different outcome.
32 after that.
Man, more blabbering for months.
What would be the different outcome this time? You'd actually be out cold on the canvas as opposed to staggered around bleeding?
send about $49,999,000 to some dripping wet rupee refugee and make the dude's day, for crying out loud. But no, we gotta drop 50 mil so that a bunch of self-indulgent, already loathsomely rich red state fat cats on a superiority jag can get their gratification jollies. That's keeping your priorities all lined up, right? Oh, and let's not think that blue state bozos are some kind of benevolence big shots either, okay? Given what's going on in New York, Christo strikes again, for crying out loud. The Bulgarian-born environmental artist. Well, with the environment of the Indian Ocean resembling a friggin' petri dish, this wacko is dropping $21 million to clog up Central Park with 23 miles, as in 5,280 feet, of yellow saffron fabric. Well, his old lady is French, which may explain a lot. Anyway, 23 miles of this saffron crap hanging everywhere, so that you can't see where you're going and probably can't get there if you could see. Half the damn world's treading water in the Gulf of Tonkin, and that's what we're spending money on in New York. Environmental art that's going to make Central Park basically look like a urinal for Godzilla. Well, let 'em eat cake, I guess, and dog paddle. Pathetic. Perspective, man. Perspective.
20 minutes till the hour here on the Imus morning program. Ann Coulter's 44 years old, Bernard.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't look it. You know, today, women in their 40s today, it's a different deal than it used to be.
No,
it's like a banana with brown spots, just past the perfectly ripe stage, but still tastes pretty damn good.
That's it.
Look at those girls on Desperate Housewives.
Thank you.
Nicolette Sheridan, Terry Hatcher.
Sure.
44, wow.
Well, I wasn't implying that meant anything, but
No, it's just, you know, she looks pretty damn good.
She sure does.
Yeah, yes, she does.
Yeah.
So, it's Chuck now with an update of what's going on in the world. I don't know, it just kind of stopped me in my tracks here. A banana with brown spots, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. That's a good analogy, right, Chuck?
Well, it is, because it just indicates a ripeness to the point. I mean, you don't want the banana to turn black.
Just
half.
Well, what's the matter with a black?
A black banana would be spoiled. I mean, it would be way past its prime.
But with a few spots on it?
But a few spots, man, I'm
still yummy.
You peel that sucker down, please.
All right.
In fact, if they show too much green,
shut up and read the news.
Very well. Secretary of State Colin Powell says he's impressed to see people cleaning up and helping others at the extravagance of this as he examines the damage from the South Asia tsunami. Powell in Sri Lanka making the last stop of his 5-day, 3-nation tour. Secretary General Kofi Annan describes the sight he has seen in Indonesia's tsunami-ravaged Aceh province as utter destruction. In another battered area, Secretary of State Powell taking this last helicopter tour before he returns. Overall death toll, now according to, there are several different figures though, but the overall death toll according to the United Nations is in the range of 153,000. The man President Bush has nominated to step into the Attorney General's position says he does not condone torture. During a Senate confirmation hearing, Alberto Gonzales said he is sickened by the abuse, in fact, of detainees in Iraq, and he rejected accusations that the White House policies have helped create an acceptable climate for abuse. Jury selection begins today in the military...
A little bit like Chong yesterday, didn't he, from Cheech and Chong?
Very soft-spoken.
Yeah.
I like the guy.
But you know he's tough on, and they speak softly but carry a big knife.
You bet.
But they probably call him the Velvet Blade over there at the...
They could.
You know, James Baker, the Velvet Hammer.
So you're suggesting that you think that he has on a pair of chinos and he's walking around with a switchblade?
No, I know he's serious. He means business, and he's very smart.
How did he arrive there, in a lowrider? Is that what you're suggesting?
No, not at all, no.
Okay,
sure.
With the hydraulics bouncing up,
bouncing up and down. 17 till the hour.
Hey, which way to the White House? Pennsylvania Avenue or something over here, it says.
Well, I like him, so he's got my vote, except I can't vote.
Guys like Kennedy, Leahy, and Schumer who don't like him, then you know he's the right guy for the job.
Yeah. All right, sir, go ahead.
Jury selection begins today in the trial of an Army reservist seen in the photos showing troops abusing Iraqi prisoners at Abu Ghraib.
Shut up.
Specialist Charles Grainer is considered to have led the alleged abuse. His attorney is expected to argue that he was only following orders.
Oh, well, sure.
And then a terrible day in Iraq yesterday. 9 American troops killed. Roadside bomb killed 7 U.S. soldiers in a single incident in northwest Baghdad when their Bradley fighting vehicle hit what was described as a massive explosive. Actually flipped over the Bradley fighting vehicle. It was a very heavy vehicle. The military didn't provide any details on the other killings other than to say that 2 other Marines were killed in action in western Iraq. And the Pentagon is sending a retired 4-star Army general to Iraq next week to conduct an unusual open-ended review of the entire Iraq policy, including troop levels, training programs for Iraqi security forces, and the strategy for fighting the insurgency. General Gary E. Luck, former head of American forces in South Korea, and he was at the right hand of Tommy Thompson and so on, is going to be going over.
It's 16 Leon here in the Imus Wine program. Imus Ranch food products are sponsored by...
I said Tommy Thompson. I meant, of course, Tommy Franks. Excuse me.
Sponsored by the New York...
Maybe you can get another book out of it.
Sponsored by the New York Hospital of Queens, a member of the New York Presbyterian Healthcare System, for cutting-edge programs and leading specialists in all fields of medicine. New York Hospital Queens, sponsoring Imus Ranch Foods, which you can order directly from Imus Ranch Foods at 1-888-284-IMUS. And I would remind you that all 100% of the after-tax profits from the sale of all Imus Ranch food products go to the Imus Cattle Ranch for kids with cancer. And you can buy all of these things at leading supermarkets. Now, some supermarkets don't have them because, well, we won't go into why they don't have them, but some of them, some want to help little children with cancer, and some are gangsters. That's what they are.
Uncaring and...
Oh, man, it is unbelievable. But that would not include Stop and Shop and ShopRite and King Cullen and Castides and Hannaford, and I could go on and on. So it really is the best salsa. It's already the number 1 selling salsa on the East Coast. It's fabulous stuff. And the salad dressings, they're so good we can't make any money with them. Well, we can make a little, but that's fine. And Imus Ranch coffee. Take those coffee beans and grind them up. I had a double shot of espresso at 5:30 this morning.
Ooh.
Wow.
That'll get you moving.
It's like doing a couple of lines.
No kidding.
Well, it doesn't have that effect on me. I guess because I've done so many drugs in my life that a double shot of espresso doesn't really mean all that much.
Right?
If there was a time I could take a couple of Black Beauties and take a nap. There might have been a quart of vodka I was drinking with it.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, all Imus Ranch food products are available at many leading supermarkets, and if you can't find them there, call. There's great stuff that come in gift boxes. There's neat. 1-888-284-IMUS, IMUS, and it's all sponsored by the New York Hospital of Queens. 13 till the hour. In sports, what's going on? Randy Johnson's going to sign with the Yankees? What happened?
Well, it's done. They've already got that extension done.
Where's Carl Beltran going, or whatever his name is?
Well, supposedly Carlos Beltran right now, the Mets and the Houston Astros.
Did Michelle have sex with him or something?
Well, he was on the Royals, so I probably, you know, I can't tell you for sure, but yeah, let's go with yes.
Can you imagine for $112 million?
Yeah, $112 million.
How much were we going to send to the tsunami disaster first?
35 million.
15, 30. This guy's going to get $112 million.
Yeah,
to play baseball for a few years.
And he had a great postseason.
A tremendous postseason for the Astros.
But generally, he's not much more than a journeyman ball player, is he?
No, that's not fair. He's probably one of the top 10 baseball players in the game. Top 10.
Get
but towards 10, not towards 1, towards 10.
Get out of my face.
Why?
He's not. He's not.
He's probably 9th, 10th, 11th best in the league. No?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, fair enough then.
Okay, he had a great postseason.
Yes, he did. Yes.
And
the young guy.
But when he was with Kansas City, he wasn't much better than Michelle's boyfriend, David De Jesus.
Yeah, a lot better than that. A lot better than that.
What else now?
But the playoffs, of course, are this weekend with the National Football League. Two games tomorrow.
Let's pick the games now.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, you tell me what they are. I'll tell you who's going to win.
Fair enough. Game number 1, the Rams are in Seattle for the Seahawks. The Rams played the Seahawks twice during the regular season, the Rams won them both.
Where's the game?
In Seattle.
I like Seattle.
Okay, you're 0-1. Game number 2. In San Diego tomorrow night, the Jets taking on the San Diego Chargers. Who do you like in that one?
I like the Jets in a close one.
0-2. Let's just stop this now. Let's not even do Sunday at this point.
Well, let's try it.
Oh, let's try it then, okay? And on Sunday's action, the Broncos just lost to the Colts last weekend. They just beat the Colts last weekend. Now they're going to play the Colts again this weekend.
I like the Colts.
Very good pick.
Okay.
And Minnesota in Green Bay for the Packers, and the Packers beat the Vikings twice in the regular season as well.
I like the Packers.
Your Sunday picks are beautiful. Your Saturday picks are asinine.
Well, that's a little strong.
I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Those are the I-Man's picks. He likes Seattle, the Jets, the Packers, and the Colts.
Yeah.
Wow, I have goosebumps.
Love it.
You're first.
Extraordinary payments to families of those killed on September 11th, I felt the injustice. September 11th touched everyone, particularly in the Northeast. Few don't know someone who lost someone that day. However, visit nearly any small town in America, and you'll find someone who has a family member or knows a family with someone serving in Iraq. As Aaron White wrote, I hope our people appreciate the blood we are to spill. The sad truth is that our government does not. And that came from Pamela Rosenberg, who lives in Roseland, who inexplicably and almost unbelievably is related to Sid Rosenberg.
That's correct. She's my aunt, actually. Her husband, Larry, is my father's brother. Yes. Another impressive member of the Rosenberg family. They just continue from Norm Coleman to Pam Rosenberg to me.
So Governor Bill Richardson, who I like a lot, even though he's a liberal weenie, he announced yesterday, I believe, a package of benefits to provide what they describe in this press release as critical financial support, you're probably right about that, for New Mexico National Guard troops and the families of active duty military personnel, as well as tax credits for New Mexico veterans. The governor is proposing that the state pay for $250,000 worth of life insurance for every active member of the New Mexico National Guard. The initiative is called Taking Care of Our Own, and as you know, from our discussion with various people, or you may not know, that if you're in the service and you're worried about dying for your country, and you're willing to pony up $20 a month, then you can participate in the life insurance plan. But if you don't, and you die for your country, your family's given the $12,000 and whatever else. So pat on the back. Yeah. So that's my only point. There's lots of other areas where we're wasting money in the government, and to pick on the inaugural balls may seem short-sighted or unfair, but that's what I've decided to do, and I have a good point to argue about it. It's stupid. So I'm not prepared to do that. It's just an obvious point. So somehow, and then when you talk to people like Senator Christot and others, and it's not just Democrats, it's Republican senators as well, aren't aware, and people have voted for the war, by the way, this idiotic war, like Senator Dodd and others, are not fully aware of what the death benefits are, and certainly Senator Dodd wasn't aware that these soldiers at Walter Reed Army Hospital were having to pony up for the telephone calls, which just seems so petty and mean-spirited that it's insane. What's your relationship with this? That's a pretty nice letter from this.
My aunt.
No, I understand that. What's your relationship with that? You told me what's your, not how are you related to
Oh,
her?
yeah.
What is your relationship?
Right.
God, you're stupid.
Yeah, she's my aunt. Let's just, that's what it is. That's,
Does
yeah.
she speak with you?
Not often.
Good.
It's been a couple of years.
Great.
Yeah.
It's typical of one of Sid's relatives. Her husband dies in a war, and she's whining about money.
Oh, you son of a bitch. The New York Stock Exchange business report.
We're coming to your town. We'll pull your panties down.
Armstrong set foot on the moon, he used a Plantronics headset.
We're here at the New York Stock Exchange with Ken Conipon, CEO of Plantronics, the world's leading communications headsets company.
We've created new products for emerging applications like headsets for cellular phones. About 20 million Americans have discovered the comfort and convenience of having their hands free when they talk, whether at the office, in their car, or at home.
Conipon on innovation.
We consistently win awards for our comfort and our style. Our sound quality and reliability are crucial because you want to be heard and you want the product to last. Our noise-canceling headsets are used on the trading floor at the New York Stock Exchange, so your orders are executed accurately.
On being listed on the New York Stock Exchange.
For another,
not a good record.
Including the Stepford Wives, which was just almost unwatchable.
Apparently.
Well, it wasn't almost unwatchable. It was unwatchable because millions of people unwatched it. Didn't they, Chuck?
They just went to the box office and
so this Brad Gray, Tom Preston. I don't know how much input Les had in this Moonves, but I'm down with Les, by the way.
Who just got married over the holidays.
Congratulations, Mr. Moonves.
Yeah,
I actually like him. I know I described him one time as a phony, but well, he was. But he's seen the error of his ways, or perhaps not. But in the last time I spoke with him, he seemed much more genuine. But then maybe he certainly learned at the hand of Mel Carbazon, and that's not a bad place to learn.
No.
At any rate,
he hit the lottery. This guy.
I don't know who hit the lottery. Moonves?
Yeah.
Oh, I know a couple other people who did, like me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm talking about hitting the lottery.
Congratulations,
me,
Mr.
Stern. You know.
He'd love you a long time.
Well, whatever. Here's Chuck with the news. Morning, John.
Good morning, Iman. UN Secretary General Kofi Annan says what he saw in Indonesia's tsunami-ravaged Aceh province was utter destruction. He was accompanied by the president of the Asian Development Bank, who said he was overwhelmed by the scope, the dimensions of the misery he witnessed. The disaster's death toll now figured at more than 153,000. A substantial number of survivors have had to have limbs amputated because of infections and gangrene. World leaders are vowing to set up an early warning system to detect any future tsunamis in the Indian Ocean area. The pledge came at a donor conference in Indonesia, where Annan also called on delegates to convert their aid pledges into at least $1 billion actual dollars.
How about buying some elephants? Did you see that report last night on the NBC Nightly News with Brian Wilson?
Absolutely, yes.
Who's now in Singapore, by the way.
Right.
Congratulations getting out of that hellhole. Get a shower, a steam, a massage with a happy ending.
There were no,
come home.
At least to this point, no animals were victims of this because there's some sort of inherent sense that they have.
Right.
The elephants who were chained up broke the chains and
said, "We are out of here,"
and headed to higher ground.
Yep. As you say, a sixth sense, perhaps something in the pads on elephants' feet that
like Star Jones leaving Celebrity Row at the Madison Square Garden,
breaking her chains to
heading
get out
to the food stand.
That's not good.
Anyway, go ahead.
In another tsunami-battered region, Secretary of State Powell took a helicopter tour of Sri Lanka's southern area. He flew over the town of Galle, swooping over rubble and debris lining that coastline, and said U.S. military and aid workers will stay in the country for quite some time, although he was unable to give an exact timetable, whatever it requires, though, to try to get the people in the area back on their feet. And an especially deadly day for American military forces in Iraq. A total of 9 soldiers died in 2 separate incidents, and the worst one, 7 U.S. military personnel died yesterday when their Bradley armored vehicle was hit by an explosive device. Perhaps they ran over it. Troops were on patrol in northwest Baghdad when that occurred. No details have been released on the other 2 deaths, except to say they were U.S. Marines and were killed somewhere in the western Iraqi area. And out in Orange, California, this has happened again. A middle school teacher accused of having sexual contact with 2 13-year-old boys who were former students. She's been arraigned. 28-year-old Sarah Suzanne Bench Solorio, charged with 20 counts of lewd acts on a child under 14 years old. Police there say our investigation indicates teacher initiated the sexual contact, and it took place over months. After one boy came forward, a follow-up investigation determined that there was a second victim. It didn't say whether the boys knew each other, but the DA said Ms. Bencelorio seduced the students over dinner and through emails and phone calls during a series of months before then actually initiating the sexual contact, nor is that all of it. Then in Bay City, Texas, a teacher's been arrested.
Well, wait a minute. Back to the, how did this come to light, this thing in Orange, California?
Little boy came forward and told his parents, and they alerted it.
Oh, was he complaining or what? Or bragging or what?
That I don't know. I don't know the nature of...
See what I was telling you yesterday?
What?
The incidents of pedophilia in the public schools?
And another one, Bernie, in Bay City, Texas, teacher arrested and charged with having sex with a former student.
I was trying to remember when I was 13, and there was... If there were any hot teachers there at the high school in Arizona, whether in fact, I don't know, but apparently there were not. At least I don't. Well, no, I wasn't drunk then. So.
This is a 31-year-old in Bay City, Texas. Her name is Janae Wilson. Had sexual relationship with a 16-year-old.
That's not horrible.
Investigators are performing a paternity test now to determine if the student's father...
You would say that.
One of her children. If he's the dad.
You and Larry King glamorizing pedophilia.
You know, you're really a disgraceful slug.
Didn't he have that skank on from Oregon that had the sex with the Hawaiian kid?
I believe he did.
Yeah.
Mary Kay Letourneau.
Tell us the details.
Oh, that was trouble.
When did you have your first kiss? Glamorizing pedophilia as though she was some movie star.
No, that was not good.
That's right.
And the Iron Man, the same thing, right?
No,
there.
I'm just...
Oh, that's not so bad. 16.
Well...
And he may be the father of the I mean, it's a horrible situation.
Then if God forbid, a man does it to a little girl, that's different, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot different. Don't you think, Charles?
Well, I don't. Actually, I fail to see the difference.
You and Larry King should be beheaded.
Well, why are you Why are you lumping me in with Larry King?
Because you're doing the exact same thing. Plus, you both have teenage wives.
No, my wife is 40 years old. What are you talking about?
Well, time to cash that one in.
No, it's not.
We're talking when the original seduction began. Years and years and years and years ago.
When? What?
Lunch pail time.
When you were parking the limo outside the high school.
Well, okay. I took her to school a few times.
There
I mean, I don't think that's a big deal.
Hey, can I ask you a post-holiday question?
Shoot.
If you give a kid a toy as a present, aren't you supposed to give him batteries to go with the toy?
Well, no, not necessarily.
Oh, just come on.
What?
You're supposed to say yes.
Why?
My parents just gave me a computer.
Nice.
Yeah, but they didn't include SBC Yahoo DSL. It's like leaving out the batteries.
You should just sign up for it. Right now, it's $19.95 a month.
Oh, you hear that, Mom and Dad? SBC Yahoo DSL is now $19.95 a month.
Just hold on. You're a grown man. You should sign up for it yourself.
Oh, man.
Okay, I take back the grown man part.
Got a new computer in the house? Sign up for 12 months of high-speed SBC Yahoo DSL and start getting the most out of it. Now $19.95 a month, only for SBC all-distance package customers. Call 1-866-SBC-YAHOO or visit sbc.com/1995. SBC, going beyond the call.
Taxes, other charges, and the Federal Universal Service Cost Recovery Fee Extra. For details of additional charges, restrictions, and requirements, call 1-866-654-7444 toll free or visit sbc.com/details.
Fine Line Features invites you to discover two incredible actors in two of the year's most extraordinary films. From the acclaimed director of the others comes The Sea Inside, the story of one man's courage, the family that supported him, and the nation that embraced him. Javier Bardem gives an astonishing performance as Richard Roper. The LA Times says it's one of the most powerful and uplifting dramas of the year, nominated for 2 Golden Globe Awards, Best Actor and Best Foreign Language Film. The Sea Inside, rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13 in select theaters. And also from Fine Line Features, we need to talk to Mrs. Vera Drake. If you've never heard of Imelda Staunton before, you haven't seen her unforgettable performance as Vera Drake. Imelda Staunton, winner of the LA Film Critics and New York Film Critics Award for Best Actress, and now Best Actress nominee by the Golden Globes. You do realize, oh, damn, it's of Fools, 1590 2nd Avenue in Manhattan, tomorrow from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. for a Foster's Lager tailgate party. Ship of Fools is the Upper East Side's place to be for sports. Come out and watch New York football on their 43 screens and enjoy Ship of Fools' wonderful menu, including delicious flame grilled burgers, which, by the way, go great with Foster's Lager. Foster's is brewed specifically to be light, crisp, and refreshing. Foster's is perfect for watching that game with your...
It is currently 39 degrees and raining in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco with 2020 Sports on WFAN, your flagship station for the NFL playoffs.
Chris Russo. Sports Radio 66.
Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Nice to have you with us on this Saturday morning in New York, the 8th day of January, 2005. Dan Cronin, of course, Eddie Erickson across the way. Nice to have you aboard on a Saturday. We'll take it at 1 o'clock today as we move you to the NFL playoffs, which begin a little later on, 4:30 and 8. 718-937-6666, your 2A Sports Talk telephone number. As is our tradition, every year we do this show right before the playoffs. We always get a guy on and give us... Back on the Fan Hour 3 of our radio program. Nice to have you aboard as we talked about the world of sports. 718-937-6666. Gil Brandt today. And now Solomon Wilcox. Why Solomon? Because he works with Ian, of course, and did that second game of the year in San Diego when the Jets beat the Chargers, 34-28. He did the analysis of that game and, of course, did a great job all season long. Solomon, Christopher Russo, New York. How are you today? Good to have you aboard.
All right, Chris, thanks.
6:21 now in New York. Probably 4:21 in Mexico. And I can figure the times out through all the time zones, but I won't do that.
Good.
Anyway, Imus Trans Foods is sponsored by New York Hospital Queens, a member of the New York Presbyterian Healthcare System with cutting-edge programs and leading specialists in all fields of medicine. Imus Trans Food products are available at most leading supermarkets, certainly all up and down the East Coast, and you can call Imus Trans Foods directly at 1-888-284-IMUS, IMUS. 100% of the after-tax profits go to the Imus Cattle Ranch for kids with cancer. Somebody asked me the other day, I forgot that the ranch was founded in 1998, 7 years ago. It's been in operation. This will be our 6th year this year.
Wow. Pretty good.
And somebody asked me what it was.
What you doing out there?
Well, it's a working cattle ranch that's open all year round, and kids are there June, July, and August, and we have them for a spring session because that's the only time we can get them. So it costs $1.8 million a year in cash to run the place. And we take 100 kids a year. So that figures, I was figuring the math, I already knew what it was, but $18,000 a kid, which is, if there's any criticism of the ranch, that would be it. It's a lot. Until you spend some time with one of them. And then $1.8 million would not be enough per kid. But it's not a camp, it's a working cattle ranch, so there are 17 people who work there year-round. There's 30 horses and a herd of Texas Longhorns and sheep and 17 buildings in a western town, and it has to be. So my wife and I run it, and so far we haven't been able to figure out a way to rip off any money from it. So we pay ourselves $1 a year, except I haven't got my dollar yet. So
well, that's an outrage.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a great program. So, but it's a very unique facility. It's a, if it were a camp, we could close it down and have a caretaker and then open it up. But that's not what it is. It seemed like a good idea 7 years ago, and it still does.
Yep. You bet.
And then my wife and I. There's never been a kid there when we weren't there. It's not one of those deals where we put our name on it and never go there. We spend about 4 months a year there. When kids are there, we're there. We're their counselors. And sometimes they're happy about this, sometimes they're not. But I don't care.
There's a downside to everything, kids.
Yeah. I wish it were an area where I could breathe, but it's almost 7,000 feet altitude, and of course, I have trouble breathing here at 270 feet above sea level.
Right.
So if I had it to do over again, I probably would build it in an area where it was closer to sea level. But a lot of those things we didn't think about. But anyway, we raise a lot of money, and it costs a lot of money, but it's all worth it. Believe me, I'm not complaining. 24 after the hour, it's time for a little sports news. That is Sid Rosenberg. Morning, Sid.
All right, I'm man. Good morning to you. Big playoff weekend in the National Football League, and it all started locally here with the Jets getting by the San Diego Chargers 20-17 on Saturday night.
I couldn't watch that game without thinking of Benigno.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was thinking the same thing, especially when Eric Barton got the roughing the passer foul at the end of the game. And
well, they forearmed him in the helmet.
It was a fair call. It was a fair call.
Okay, but my question for the idiot linebacker is not only why would you do it then, why would you ever do it?
Yeah, it's a bad play. It was a bad play. He got overzealous, and he shouldn't have done it. And you would think at that point the Jets would have lost the football game, but Marty Schottenheimer, who ironically enough won the Coach of the Year this weekend, really lost the game by that awful drive late in the game, there, in overtime, I should say, when the Chargers are driving for the game-winning field goal. He's got the ball at the 22-yard line, and he gives the ball to Tomlinson 3 straight times right up the middle. Doesn't even try to get any yardage. And, of course, that set up the rookie kicker on a rainy night in bad conditions, a 40-yard field goal. That's asking a lot of that kid. He missed the field goal. Jets go down and win the game. So, in essence, really, Marty Schottenheimer lost that football game on Saturday night.
If you're watching MSNBC, you just saw the linebacker on 2 or 3 occasions. Well, they only did it once, but they ran it 2 or 3 times.
Right.
In which he forearmed the Drew Brees in the head.
Yeah.
Clubbed him.
Which was just, by the way, the pass was already in the air.
Yeah, it was done.
There was nothing to do at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So pack up your equipment, get ready to go to Pittsburgh.
I mean, the linebacker, I guess, had no way of knowing whether it was going to be complete or not, but he'd already thrown the pass, and he still hit him.
Yeah.
Ball's gone, long gone.
And the Jets have lost so many games like this, stupid penalties and turnovers. There's such bad luck through the years for the Jets. This looked like another example, but they came out and they won the game.
It's safe to say the linebacker is stupid, but not as stupid as Randy Moss.
No, well, Randy Moss isn't all that stupid. You know who's stupid? Joe Buck. Your friend Joe Buck is stupid. Randy Moss scores a touchdown in the fourth quarter yesterday. Does this great little move where he kind of moons. There it is. It's showing on MSNBC. He moons the people there at Green Bay. To me, it's totally innocuous, and Buck is going on and on about what a disgusting act this is, and this is a disgrace, and he's classless, and he's a lowlife. Joe, shut up. What is the big deal?
You shut up.
You got guys scoring touchdowns, something into the stands at Green Bay. Now, that's obnoxious. That's annoying. That was nothing what Randy Moss did. That was cute.
It wasn't cute. It was
It was cute.
JB and Terry and the guys all jumped on it, too. They
should be talking. Those guys should be talking. Terry Braxton should be talking.
I'm just saying.
If Sid endorses the act, you know it was classless.
Yeah, it's just
that's a seal of approval.
And by the way, phone sex is not cheating. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't.
You think phone sex is cheating?
Yes.
Don't you think there has to be some type of physical relationship to be cheating with somebody?
Not at my house.
So if your wife walked in and you were on the phone with somebody...
Or whatever.
It would be all over.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'd
be all over the bed.
Come on.
40-yard attempt.
You're making
This
me
is
sick.
Here's the snap. It's placed down. The kick is up, and it is no good. So the Jets are still alive. The kick went wide to the near side, wide right.
Brothers, give me a groove. So look to your left and to your right. If it's somebody you don't know, maybe it's time to introduce yourself. Maybe say,
Señorita, pleased to meet ya. Would you like some pizza or margarita? Van a Venezuela con mujer y alma cozuela. Tiene besos grandes y ella no es fea.
he jumped out the window with his guitar in his hand and said, shoot me, daddy, I'm Superman. I'm Superman. I'm Superman. I'm Superman. I'm Superman.
Imus in the morning.
This happens every year.
What, winter?
No, every year I spend...
Others claiming, and Hayward's claiming, and he has these emails to support it, that he issued these orders and they weren't followed. Well, for Les Moonves, I like Les, but for Les not to fire Andrew Hayward is disgraceful. He should fire Andrew Hayward based on the fact that nobody will follow Hayward's orders. I mean, if you've got a guy who's heading your news division who issues orders about about making sure you get a story right, and no one does it, then you in effect have somebody who's ineffective,
and you're ignored.
Got a clean house.
They did what they wanted to do over there, in spite of what Hayward said. And for Hayward to let everybody else get fired and to remain there himself is disgraceful. He's got to go. It's like my old friend Hal Raines at the time. He had to go.
Fall on your sword. Do the right thing.
You got to do the right thing. You're out of there. I mean, you can't keep your job there. Rather's fine, I think.
Hey, Bush won. He's retiring. Leave him alone.
Leave him alone. and you know, I think to be fair about Dan Rather, he had a fairly distinguished career. I mean, you may think there's some bias, as I do, and you may, but I sort of changed my view a little bit on him. I don't think he's a horrible. I know he's not a horrible person, and I think it's like I've said for years. Those people do the news for their friends, and they live in Manhattan. I live in Manhattan. I know what they do. I know who they hang out with. I know what the whole deal is. And it's like at Fox. They do the news for their friends. It's no different. Well, we'll talk to David Brooks a little bit about that, see if he has any interest in it. And then Howard Kurtz from the Washington Post. Now, Bill Carter, I heard him interviewed from the New York Times. I mean, it's useless. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. I mean, he's so in the tank for everybody. I mean, I guess he's a good reporter, but in my experience, he's got such an agenda that it's just frightening, isn't it?
You just have to dismiss more than half of what he's saying.
I mean, he's just a total.
It's obvious. I mean,
phony.
It's completely on his sleeve, certainly.
But Howard Kurtz is the closest you can probably come to getting an honest assessment of what's going on, and he's not totally without any kind of. But he's pretty good.
Yep.
And of course, he's a Washington Post, so it would be in his interest to. I would think to. I don't. Who knows? We'll find out. It's just.
How can you watch Les Moonves without thinking of him? Getting busy with Julie Chen, CBS Morning News chick that he married.
Well, maybe this will be something you and Les want to discuss.
Can't get past that. Cannot get past that.
Pardon me?
Can't get past that.
Well, it's Mr. Moonves' personal business, and I'm personally very happy for him.
Yes, he got married over the holidays. Matter of fact, it was in the newspapers.
Right.
God bless him.
Yeah. Congratulations, Mr. Moonves.
Hot Asian chick. Good for him.
You two,
that's what I'm saying.
You two are not going to be here. I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, just go into.
He's an idol. Are you kidding me?
Discuss some other aspect of this story rather than.
Oh, how about rather not showing up last night?
Well, jet lag. Yeah.
He was tired.
Sure. Tsunami coverage.
And how about that big geek Randy Johnson coming to town?
He did well on his first day.
And slamming a reporter up against the wall and shoving a CBS cameraman.
I actually have the audio if you'd like it. It's about 27 seconds.
Yeah, let me hear it quickly.
Here we go. Live from the streets of New York City yesterday. Randy Johnson and the cameraman.
Hey, Freddie. Hey, no. Hey. No cameras, man. No cameras.
What is that?
No cameras.
My face, that's all I asked.
No cameras.
No, you're not.
No cameras.
No cameras.
I got him, Randy. I got him.
All right? Don't get in my face. I don't care who you are. Don't get in my face.
He's taking pictures.
Don't be in my face and don't talk back to me, all right?
I'll talk back to you, you punk. They don't talk back to you.
Welcome to New York.
Welcome to New York.
Yeah, he's going to do well here.
What a punk. Talk back to you. Shut up.
Hi, this is Larry King. If you're drinking orange juice...
Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
21 after the hour here in the Imus Morning program. On the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. I asked Bernard what kind of ratings Keith Olbermann gets. He gets a .2. Which not a lot, but I mean you can't. It's just
what?
I mean enough. Just I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking about over there. But Chris is about the only thing that you can watch. But he seems, we're trying to get a hold of Matthews this morning because you can trust Matthews. And Matthews is smart and he's got a good view of everything, you know. But, I mean, Keith Olbermann, I haven't watched very much of it, but seemed intent on reminding us about Armstrong Williams. I mean, what does that got to do with the CBS? Nothing. I don't get all that. And Scarborough's just confused. What? I mean, he means well, and to let Dan Abrams interview Les Moonves and these other people is idiotic. Because he can't... It's not good. Well, I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't get it. They're horrible. And I'm going to not promote them anymore.
I'm in trouble today.
No, they're just... I mean, you're embarrassed for them. I watched O'Reilly last night. O'Reilly was better than anybody. I still can't watch him. And I mean, I've known him for 30 years, and he's fine. Sure. But I just can't watch him without... I just have this image of him in a shower with a falafel, and I can't get it out of my head. It's like, God, did I take a bunch of heat for Al Goldstein yesterday from everybody? Not just my hideous wife, but God, Rob comes in screaming at me.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, everybody said, well, what's this allegiance you have to Al Goldstein? Well, none in particular except that. You know, I didn't endorse the kind of pornography or any sort that he did, but that's not the point. He was always very nice to me. I always thought he was an interesting, by the way, brilliant guy.
And a real character.
And I just because I wasn't going to turn my back on him. I mean, I'm not hanging out with him or anything else, but I just didn't see anything wrong with putting him on, and I would do it again.
Now what? There.
And if somebody doesn't like it, I don't care. Do something about it.
Yeah. See?
So it's 25 after the hour. On a far more serious area, let's go to Richard Engel, NBC News in Mosul, in Iraq, and he was right in the middle of a mess yesterday. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, John. Yes, we got to experience firsthand or witness firsthand what these soldiers here are going through almost every day. One soldier who we spoke to, who's only been in Iraq for 3 months, has been ambushed 17 different times. So yesterday we were in a convoy of Strikers. It's a fighting vehicle, weighs about 22 tons, and we were driving on a humanitarian mission to deliver space heaters, kerosene heaters, to a girls' school in downtown Mosul. It's rather cold here in the morning and at night, unlike in other parts of Iraq. And as we were driving there, we passed a mosque under construction. A roadside bomb exploded, killed 4 Iraqis in the vehicle right next to ours. Our vehicle shook, and everyone in our news crew was okay. But then as we were giving first aid, the medics and the soldiers were giving first aid, we were getting fired on. We were pinned down in an hour-long gun battle.
What a mess. How are they going to have these elections in a couple of weeks here, Richard?
It's very difficult, especially in a place like Mosul. The city, there's about 15 police stations that are barely functioning in the middle of Mosul. There used to be 50. Most of them were overrun in mid-November. There were just several acts of intimidation, and most of the police fled. There is total chaos in the city. You are not safe to walk down the streets. People I've spoken to in the last couple of days, when I was walking around with armed soldiers dressed in a helmet and flak jacket, because that's the way you have to walk around Mosul, people told me that they don't feel comfortable to go out on voting day and vote. and the political candidates haven't come forward. And this is a city of 2 million people. It's a critical city. It's the third largest in all of Iraq.
Well, there are actually not any people who, other than Alawi, I guess, there aren't any of these candidates who are running who have been willing to actually identify themselves, right?
There are several coalitions. It's really split down ethnic and religious lines. The Shiite bloc, the religious Shiites, have a very strong presence, particularly among their communities. They are 100% behind the electoral process, and don't forget they're about 60% of the population. So in cities like Karbala and Najaf, which are Shiite holy cities, the mosques are now like polling centers. Everyone is on the Friday prayers rallying behind their candidates. They're going door to door, soliciting voters and getting people excited about this election. The highest Shiite religious authority issued a religious decree, a fatwa, saying that women who must go to vote, that if their husbands don't allow them to vote, they have the right to divorce them. Compare that to the Sunni community, where their areas are either in an active battleground like Mosul, or places like Fallujah or Ramadi, where the streets are effectively abandoned because of the intense military presence.
Take care of yourself, Richard. Thanks. Good report. Richard Engel, NBC News in Mosul. Walking on a flak jacket and a helmet pinned down in a firefight.
An hour-long firefight.
Richard, come on. You got to ask for some different duty here, man. You got to say enough of this. 28 minutes after the hour here in the Imus Morning Program. David Brooks, who's I'm happy he's going to be on. Of course, this is. I don't think we think that we discovered him, as we do, as we're convinced we did with Tom Oliphant and some of these other people. But I like old Brooks. He's brilliant. The guy's brilliant.
He was not as discovered.
Right. He was already on the op-ed page of the New York Times. But then Tom Oliphant's been writing for the Boston Globe for a long time.
All we did was locate him. Didn't really
Who else do we think we discovered? Oh, we were convinced we discovered George Clinton's good one.
Sure.
People like that Best Loss. Plucked him out of obscurity.
Yeah.
This is, of course, every time we see somebody on the news hour where we think, well, anyway, Mr. Brooks is going to be on. He's got a column on the op-ed page of the New York Times this morning that's actually worth reading. And then Howard Kurtz, the Washington Post, I fave. And I think we can get a pretty good assessment.
I think you can.
Of this CBS thing. I think he's certainly a better source than Bill Carter from the New York Times, who I just don't get that. I mean, that's just a disgrace. Not a disgrace, but be too harsh here. And then we're trying to get a hold of Chris Matthews. I actually. I really like Matthews. I just think he's a fat panty-wearing liberal, but at least I think I just get the feeling he tries to be fair about it, don't you?
He makes an effort.
Yeah. And I don't think also this morning is a time to start beating up on Rather again. It just... Well, I really related to being a victim of your staff and producers. I mean, oh, God.
What do you mean?
Well, you just got to... You've got to pay attention.
We'd like you to be a victim of your staff. It may happen one day.
But I mean, if they tell you something and you decide to believe them, and then you find out that's not the case, except they know better here, but then it's taken years to get them trained not to tell me something that's not true. So,
well,
and then, but I mean, I don't know. Well, I do think you have to be fair to Rad. I kind of feel sorry for him a little bit. I mean,
he's going out on not a very good note.
And he covered, he's had a distinguished career. Whether you agree with him or not is...
But this will certainly hold a prominent position in his biography.
Well, he can't still say... What they did after the report is almost as bad as what they did before.
There you go.
To put these phony news stories on the air, on the CBS ABC News, in support of this story they couldn't effectively vouch for, was as egregious as the original report. And for Dick Thornburg and that clown from AP, to not authenticate or establish a chain of command for these documents is insane.
Does that leave some area sort of yet to be explored?
And Dan Rather still thinks the documents are authentic, or he thinks the substance of the story is true, but he can't prove it. He still hasn't apologized to the president for all this. And even in the report points out that his mealy-mouthed apology on the CBS Evening News was just that, mealy-mouthed. And Rather, you know, I think his thinking was that they're being assaulted here by everybody over this report, and so he's going to stand up for the staff. Well, why didn't he stand up for the staff now? And how about Hayward? I mean, Hayward covered his own butt by suggesting that he had, and there's some email evidence that he instructed the staff to, I'm paraphrasing here, to make sure they had the story correct, but they ignored his orders. Well, on that basis alone, he should be fired or resign.
I saw in one editorial this morning that Hayward survived because it seems his heart was incompetently in the right place.
Yeah, guys issuing orders, nobody's paying any attention to him.
Right.
I mean, the inmates are in charge over there, and this Mary Mapes has been on this 5-year odyssey to try to nail George Bush. I mean, enough with her. Moonves you got to trust. I mean, he's got the shareholders in mind. I mean, he learned at the hand of Carmazon. So
right.
So at least he knows what he's doing. And I think it was the right thing, probably not to fire. Well, it was the right thing not to get rid of Rather, and I don't think it was the right thing, though, to let Hayward escape. Anyway, now we have Randy Johnson, this big, stupid geek from the Arizona Diamondbacks, who may or may not still be able to pitch effectively.
Yeah, he probably will. He was still the best pitcher in baseball last year.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah. But he's still a jerk. That doesn't mean anything.
You have to do it in Yankee Stadium, which is different.
That's true.
Than doing it in Tampon Park in Phoenix.
Well, that's true.
Whatever the hell it's called.
But he did play the Yankees in the World Series in 2001 and shut them down. So he's proven he can win the big game in New York or Arizona.
Oh, yeah, that too. Well, we'll see when he's part of the Yankees, because the expectations are much different than if you have nothing to lose.
Right.
And you're the stupid Arizona Diamondbacks with your hideously ugly uniform.
Right. And, well, he's ugly to begin with, Randy Johnson. Forget about the uniform.
And what was that? Don't talk back to him.
What is that? You want to hear that one more time? Got to hear it again. It's just unbelievable how obnoxious Randy Johnson is.
No.
You want to hear it?
Sure.
Here it is. Randy Johnson on the streets of New York yesterday afternoon.
Hey, buddy. Hey,
Hey, he's going out of his hotel to take a physical.
What is that? No cameras. My face, that's all I asked. Take a picture. No, you're not. No cameras. No cameras.
I got it, Randy. I got it.
All right? Don't get in my face. I don't care who you are. Don't get in my face.
Taking a picture.
Don't be in my face and don't talk back to me, all right?
Come on, Randy. Don't talk back to you.
What do you like?
That's you, Ichabod, you...
What a punk. I mean, you can't even make up.
Somebody need an attitude?
Yeah, we need that kid that knocked out David Wells' teeth.
Yes.
We need him outside this guy's hotel.
Rocco from that diner in Yonkers.
Yeah, Rocco from where it is on Brooklyn.
Little New York lesson for this.
There's two people who deserve a beating this week. Randy Johnson is one of those guys, and your good friend Joe Buck is the other. I mean, Joe Buck can't get a beating, a severe beating enough. He is the biggest hypocrite, loudmouth jerk in the history of television, and the most overrated play-by-play announcer from here to eternity.
He must have turned away from you at some pregame cocktail party.
What happened, sir?
Well, this whole thing about Randy Moss at that game on Sunday, I mean, if he knew that when the visiting team leaves Lambeau Field, the Vikings, of course, beat the Packers, and Randy Moss scored a touchdown, and did a little thing where... Two touchdowns, but then one of those touchdowns, he kind of like pulled down his pants and kind of mooned the crowd.
Sure.
And then Joe Buck should know that when the visiting team leaves Lambeau Field after they play the Packers, the fans all line up and moon the buses as they leave Lambeau Field. So Randy Moss, all he was doing was just kind of imitating what happens with the fans.
But he didn't actually pull his pants down.
Of course not. He just kind of motioned as if he was. And
right.
Joe Buck is going on and on. Tasteless, disgusting, worst thing I've ever seen. I apologize for Fox putting that on the air. Are you kidding me? And then your other friends, Terry Bradshaw, that dope, he's going on and on about it. Howie Long, James Brown, all these degenerates, all these guys got more skeletons in their closet than poltergeists, and they're coming out yelling about a stupid little act that Randy Moss does for 2 seconds in a football game.
Fans aren't on national TV like this jackass was.
Oh, so what? Give me a break. He didn't shoot the finger to the crowd. He didn't, stroke his,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we do.
He didn't do anything wrong. It was cute, actually. I thought it was funny.
Cute? It was stupid.
No, it was funny.
Guy's an a-hole.
Well,
Bottom line
is you're right. Randy Moss is still a jerk, but what he did on Sunday was not as bad as Joe Buck made it sound. So, but another one of your buddies, that's just another hypocrite that comes on and spews his...
Why are we attacking my friends?
Because a lot of the people that you hang out with... and that
I don't hang out with them.
But they act like they're so morally correct. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As if everything they do is perfect, walking around with a halo over their head. When you know at the end of the day, they're losers.
Well, they got to call a spade a spade. If
What?
you see an act like that on the field, you got to be honest. You got to keep it real if that's the way you feel. You have an opinion.
Yeah.
And Joe Buck is one of the greatest sportscasters
No, he's not.
out there today.
He's overrated, and if his father wasn't a great sportscaster and didn't die a couple of years ago, and let's not forget, by the way, the beautiful tribute that I did for Joe Buck right on this program, Jack Buck, I should say.
You don't even know who you just are. You know what?
There you go, right
There
there.
We can't wait until Charles and I have to do a tribute for you.
Why are you? Here's what I want to know. Why are you so bitter? Why so angry?
Yeah, what is it that you're? Yeah, what is it?
It just oozes from you.
Because
an internal anger.
Nothing makes me more angry.
Joe Buck, one of the nicer people on the planet.
He's not a nice guy.
Of course he is.
What's so nice about him?
I don't know. He's just a nice guy.
He's out there doing those commercials with Leon. He's talking about erectile dysfunction when they do the Cialis ads. And he's worried about Randy Moss acting as if he's pulling his pants down in front of the stadium. Now, come on.
Joe Buck does the Cialis ad?
Does he?
I don't think so.
Well, maybe I'm wrong then.
No, it's Jack, I think.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I'm not taking it back.
But why are you so troubled?
I feel I'm sick of people. I'm sick of people going on TV and acting as if they were better than everybody else when they're not. They're not.
You're a boiling pool of just
Sports with Sid Rosenberg, sponsored by Peerless Boilers.
We'll knock you over the head with this Imus Box thing right here. How about that? Would you like that, Chuck, instead?
Builders of America's best boilers.
Good Lord.
It is a 22 till the hour. Do you have any sports to report at all?
Jim Boeheim won his 300th game last night. Syracuse, college basketball, big win over Notre Dame. How's that going for you? And a big day today if a fan, because Joe Boningo and I will be at Chase Stadium this morning, 11 a.m. The New York Mets will officially introduce Carlos Beltran as a New York Met. That is a very exciting... Actually, it's a big baseball day here in New York because you have Randy Johnson's press conference at Yankee Stadium at 2 and Beltran's press conference at Shea Stadium at 11 a.m.
Randy Johnson's apologized for his behavior.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Right. What did he say?
Big jerk. I think he said, I apologize.
Right.
Yeah. That's usually how it goes when you apologize.
21. Are there any sports scores or any sort of activity to report?
No, nothing really. A couple of NBA games. Spurs lose, Lakers win, and Oklahoma beat Connecticut in college basketball last night. That's about it.
Sounds like the Rolling Stones, but it could be the Monkees.
In the mid-30s, 38 degrees and overcast in Central Park. I'm Tracy Burgess with the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
15 to the hour here in the Iverson morning program. On the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. Imus Trans Food, sponsored by New York Hospital Queens. Who I'm going to meet with Thursday, Charles.
Yeah?
And a member of the New York Presbyterian healthcare system with cutting-edge programs and leading specialists in all fields of medicine. You can call Imus Trans Foods direct at 1-888-284-IMUS and order all of the Imus Trans Food products. Best salsa on the planet. Salad dressings are fabulous. Turquoise buffalo tortilla chips and Imus Trans coffee, and 100% of the after-tax profits go to the Imus Cattle Ranch for kids with cancer, which I felt compelled yesterday to explain a little bit about. And we'll try to, because I forgot that it's been 7 years since we founded the place.
Right.
But it's a 4,000-acre working cattle ranch in the rolling hills of New Mexico at around 7,000 feet. And it's a completely, totally vegetarian, organic cattle ranch, which sounds crazy, but that's what it is. We use no pesticides of any kind and all non-toxic cleaning agents. And the reason we do, because we went to some of these camps, some of them very prominent, and they put 8 kids in a crummy cabin on army cots, and they spray the place with all these pesticides, and they feed them junk food. And now, camps are fine, and the kids have fun, but it doesn't do them any good. It does them far more harm than it does good. I mean, they have fun, but because the kids that come to the ranch all have, well, first of all, they have cancer or some blood disease of some sort, sickle cell or something. Most of them have a breathing condition, so they have these inhalers like I do.
Mm-hmm.
And many of them have attention deficit disorder and heart problems as a result of their treatment. So it seemed insane to us to subject them to an environment that would make them sicker.
Aggravate those conditions.
Like, for example, pesticides, toxic cleaning agents, and crummy food. So which is what we don't do. So why the Imus Ranch differs from a camp is that it is they not only have fun, but we change their lives, and they become introduced to a completely different environment and lifestyle. And whether that carries over when they go home or not, in many cases it does. So we're convinced it's a great idea, and we've had around 500 kids here so far, and I think probably 499 of them think it's a good idea as well. So anyway, that's kind of what it's about. 12 minutes till the hour here on the Imus Morning Program. What's going on in the world, chums?
Still trying to disrupt the approaching elections in Iraq. At least 8 people died today in an attack that was intended to target, apparently, an American convoy, but instead hit a civilian minibus, and 8 civilians died.
That was the deal Richard Engel was involved in, right?
No, this was today. His episode was yesterday.
Okay, in Mosul, right?
Court-martial proceedings have begun for the alleged ringleader in the Iraqi prison abuse, this guy Charles Grainer, who faces possibility of over 17 years in prison. Massive mudslide in Southern California as the terrible weather out there continues, and at least 3 people have died. More than 100 rescue workers spent hours trying to locate people trapped under the mud and debris in the Bachura County town of La Conchita. And Indonesia has issued a warning to aid workers providing relief in the tsunami-ravaged Aceh province. They've been told not to venture beyond a couple of large cities because of threats from militants. And, of course, as you've discussed, the 4 CBS News employees terminated for their roles in the controversial story regarding President Bush's service in the Texas Air National Guard.
Which leaves as many questions unanswered as they answered.
Yep.
And the 2 fundamental questions they didn't answer was where the documents came from, the original documents, and whether there was any political bias involved, which everybody on the planet suspects there was.
Yep.
And it's not enough just to ask Rather and Mary Mapes and Betsy West and the rest of these people who they voted for. I mean, come on here.
Are you tired of the shame and embarrassment of having to purchase your porn in an adult video store?
Do you have Shaving Ryan's Privates on DVD?
Steve, is that you? What on earth are you doing here? Oh, fan of German fisting videos, are you? Well, you can stop wringing your hands and get back to wringing your wiener with Hush, the new video porn club from Columbia House.
How does it work?
To join, select 5 porn movies for 49 cents each. Just buy 5 more in the next 2 years at regular club prices.
I'll take Irene of Genie, Lemony Lickett, Harry Pooter, Masturbator and Commander, and Eat the Fockers.
If you want the Director's Club selection, do nothing. It will be sent automatically. If you prefer an alternate selection, more selections, or none at all, just visit our website. If you receive an unwanted Director's selection, you may return it at our expense, and we will credit your account.
Dear Columbia House, I received last month's Director's Selection Fecal Friday in error. However, after returning it to you, I received it yet again this month, along with the new political documentary, Weapons of Ass Destruction.
Offer limited to customers of the contiguous red states and may be withdrawn at any time.
Dear Columbia House, I did not order Forrest Rump or Schindler's Fist. My wife opened the box by mistake, and now she thinks I'm some kind of freak. Please take them back and cancel my subscription.
Columbia House reserves the right to reject any application or to cancel any membership and is subject to the terms and conditions of our membership agreement.
Hey, you morons! I don't want Asian Ladyboy Water Sport Olympics or Raisins in the Buff Senior Citizen Slutfest.
Hush from Columbia House. If you have a better way to buy porn, we'd like to shake your hand. On second thought, maybe not.
about laser vision correction surgery? Dr. Joseph done a
and Benengo and go down on these people like you did with the Omar Minaya yesterday?
Oh,
I think
here
Duke
he goes, reading the email.
I think Duke showed some guts.
It's just the whole thing is a display of sycophancy, a day-long sycophantic, disgusting display.
Go ahead, Bernie.
Between Randy Johnson and this idiot Carlos Beltran.
Why don't
He's
you
actually
read,
a nice guy.
Why don't you read, Mr. Imus, the email that you're referring to, talking about Joe and I performing fellatio on the Mets?
I don't have it in front of me, but basically that's what it is. That's what you
Well,
guys
how'd
do.
it go with Mike and Chris and Randy Johnson?
No different.
Well,
no different whatsoever.
Not to defend them, but what were they supposed to do?
Oh, well, look what Duke just did. You're applauding Duke on what he did, and then now you're letting Mike and Chris.
No. But Mike and Chris didn't have any experience with Randy like that.
Well, how come when they had Pedro Martinez in a couple of weeks ago, Dog was going right after Pedro Martinez? Why wasn't there the same?
Well, because there was nothing to go after Randy about.
What are you talking about?
He acted like the biggest pansy on the planet by standing up and being introduced by I don't know how many Yankee officials do they have you never heard of. Anybody ever heard of Randy Levine?
Well, he's the club president.
Well, who's he?
He's the club president.
He's a chump.
Yeah, that's what he is, sure.
But anyway, it's not a chump, but I mean, he's just...
One step up from a bad boy.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Cashman's a guy and Steinbrenner.
Well, they were trying to
I understand what they were doing.
The Mets had their press conference at 11. They were trying to, outdo the... sure.
By introducing Randy Levine?
Levine? Yeah. Well, I don't know. I kind of agree with you. I thought it was...
And then they have some other guy to introduce, and Brian Cashman and...
Well, his agents were there, Nero sure. Yeah.
Brian Cashman, by the way, might just pretty much stick to phone calls and...
What are you saying?
Well, please.
This guy's one of the more impressive 30-plus-year-old kids in the country.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
They yelled at him yesterday, and then they yelled at him, but Chris got tough with Brian Cashman.
But the point is that Mike and Chris had no altercation or anything else with Randy Johnson. And Randy, after revealing himself to be a big 6-foot-inch puss, shows up with Fatso and Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
And what were they supposed to do? Beat him up, and then he never comes on again? And there was nothing to beat him up about.
Sure.
After he went on with this maudlin, self-indulgent, insincere apology for his idiotic behavior, which is fairly revealing of his true personality. He was a jerk.
What I'm like.
I don't know what I'm like.
Yeah.
Don't talk back to me. Well, shut up.
Right.
Or you'll see what I'm like.
Well, really. Well, you all saw what you were like yesterday.
I think we
almost
get it.
functionally illiterate.
Yeah.
I think we get it.
They should have pressed him on that.
Yeah, why didn't they press him on
They should
that?
have made him hang up the phone. That would have been good.
Right.
Entertaining and would have showed some guts and some dignity on their part.
What did you mean by don't talk back to me?
Right, exactly.
What exactly does that mean, don't talk back to you?
If he had said that to Mike Francesa, what would have happened? If Randy Johnson's on the phone with Mike and Mike says something...
Well, he wouldn't have said it to Mike.
Well, what do you mean he wouldn't have said it to Mike?
Because he's Francesa.
Well, Randy Johnson doesn't know who Mike is.
He does.
You can bump into him on the street right now, I wouldn't know who the hell he is.
No. Mike is a national sports figure.
He what?
Mike Francesa. Everybody knows who he is.
Dude, you're smoking weed again or something, man. You are back, and you're smoking Thai. You're getting good stuff.
Doesn't everybody know who Mike Francesa is?
Nationwide, border to border.
Yeah.
From sea to shining sea.
Right.
They're both smoking.
He is a huge presence.
He is enormous.
He is a huge presence on the sports map.
The man is a giant.
Yeah.
Huge presence, enormous, giant, all apropos. No nationwide, no chance.
No, you're
no chance. Now, I'm known nationwide.
You're not known anywhere.
I walk through the airports in Chicago and Dallas. Hey, you're the guy on Imus. You're that idiot on Imus.
Unfortunately.
I don't know who Mike is. I don't know who Mike is or Chris is. I got 6 people watching that Yes show, and 4 of them are Chris's parents in New Mexico.
He's been a national sports, but he's been a giant forever.
How would he have 4 parents in New Mexico?
Well, I think he's got, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about
There's a mother and father.
Yeah, Tony and...
that would be 2.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so my math is wrong. But at least I'm right. I mean, your philosophy is just idiotic. Not yours. Not you, I mean.
Right.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, here's the good news for Bernie.
I thought it was unfortunate when they did have Pedro Martinez on.
It wasn't unfortunate at all. It was tremendous.
Well, Mad Dog, I thought, stepped up, but, Mike's pretty much sat there and sucked his fat thumb, as Bernie pointed out. Oh, that was not good.
And apparently did it again yesterday, although I did not hear it. And, of course, Sid would never get any tape of it.
No,
God forbid.
Well, I watched it, and I didn't think it was worthy of any tape. What are you doing?
Picking my nose.
Oh, my God. I actually saw the booger come out on your finger.
No, I didn't. That's not true. That is not true. I have myself a sore spot in my nose.
Let's see mine.
No, you're digging stuff out of yours, you bat bat gut-sucking weasel.
You got a zit inside your nose. Those are the worst. You can't pop them.
Finish your thought.
Take a wrench and stick it up there and just pound yourself.
I'd like to pound you in the head with a wrench.
Bernie, I got good news for you. Your favorite basketball player of all time is thinking about a comeback. That's right.
Patrick.
No, I'm sorry. Maybe he is your favorite. 36-year-old Jason Williams has met with the Idaho Stampede of the Continental Basketball Association in Boise this week, hoping to get a roster spot there so he could gradually make his return to the NBA.
That's just what the league needs.
Is that unbelievable?
A murderer back in the league.
Isn't he still... is that court case over?
No.
They have to retry him on one count.
Hey, this boy can shoot. We know that.
I'm going to go jump in the pool, quick.
That can't be an accurate story, does it?
No, it's actually been out there for a while.
Yeah.
It acts like it's a news flash.
Well, no, the story was he's been trying to get back into the NBA. The news flash is, the story is, that he's willing to sign on with a team in the CBA right now, just so he can prove to people in the NBA that he can still play to eventually make his return to the National Basketball Association. He's willing to play in Idaho.
The whole thing was an accident, wasn't it?
Well, who would employ him?
This team, the Idaho Stampede.
No, I mean in the NBA.
Oh, come on. You got rapists and murderers and what?
If he can get 10 rebounds a game, he's hired.
There you go.
Huh?
If he can get 10 rebounds a game, he's hired.
Of course.
Really?
Are you kidding?
Of course, you hire statistics, you don't hire individuals.
And there's lots of morons out there who believe, like Bernie, that this was an accident to begin with anyway.
Wouldn't he lose his that insurance money that he got?
Oh, I don't know about that. He does have about, what, another $40 million coming to him or something like that? Well, I guess he's already collected 60 or 70 million, so who cares at this point? He needs to have a job. And what's the guy going to do all day? He's already killed the Rottweiler, and he's already killed the limo driver. There's nobody else left to kill.
I have no problem with that.
Go to Idaho and shoot out there.
Doesn't he still have staff at his place or something?
Get out in Idaho and hook up with Mark Furman.
That's right. There you go.
What all those guys are doing.
Yeah. Jason Williams, back in the NBA.
14 till the hour here on the imus in the Morning program with an update of what's going on in the world. Here, Chuck McCord, just a headline, Chuck.
Many officials reacting positively, we're told, to Michael Chertoff's nomination as Homeland Security Secretary. The president announcing he chose the federal appeals judge to replace Tom Ridge. And as for Mr. Ridge, he says officials are leaving nothing to chance when it comes to security for next week's presidential inauguration. The secretary says the highest level of security ever seen for an inauguration will be in place. German police arrest 14 people in a crackdown on an Islamic extremist organization suspected of aiding terrorists. And the government is urging Americans to model their food intake on basically a caveman diet. Lots of exercise, calorie intake low, new dietary guidelines. A new food guide pyramid is coming out today that will emphasize a diet that includes everything we're familiar with already. Whole grains, vegetables, and fruits, just more of all of it.
Yeah. Not a lot of it.
Pardon?
Not a lot of it.
Not a lot of it, because they're emphasizing also calorie intake and expenditure. Prosecutors in Santa Barbara County, California, claim to have established sexual links between Michael Jackson and at least 7 boys, not including the one he's about to stand trial for allegedly molesting. And in a not unrelated item entirely, a Canadian producer is using cartoons featuring condoms in a worldwide effort to promote safe sex. Curtis Karras created 20 videos in more than 40 languages featuring talking condoms called The Three Amigos. The cartoons are a hit in South Africa and in other places around the world. Karras now wants to see them completely go worldwide.
Talking condoms.
The Three Amigos.
Hi.
3 condoms who talk among themselves. And
where are you hanging out? 12 till the hour.
Bad to the bone. Imus in the morning.
Well, not stunned, but...
No, but I don't think because you think you've seen it all, and then something else will occur that startles you a little bit.
So I say to the program director, Chernoff, I say, how was the rating book? He said it was horrible. And said the first month was good, and then, okay, so...
Right.
That happens, and WINS and CBS, these 2 news stations here in New York, they suck and whatever. So he says... Is he coming in? No. So he says, well, we can talk about it. I said, talk about it? Talk about what? And he may. Oh God, you can't even. I mean, if we hadn't been through this for 15 years, I would say. And I always suggest to them, I said, well, you know, there's probably a whole generation of people who think the show is about what it was in the 70s. What maybe you would do like some of these other shows, like some of these other stations do, like ABC and some of these others, and maybe advertise it.
Oh no.
But they're because they don't have the budget or whatever. I understand that.
Yeah.
But what they say is they're unwilling to do anything. And they're unwilling to contribute anything other than stupid ideas. His latest stupid idea is he suggests that I have on, who did you want me to have on that I wouldn't have on? He wants me to put on these idiotic entertainers, which I'm not going to do. So, and he says, I didn't take any of my suggestions. I mean, you can't make it up.
Well,
anyway, it's actually your fault, Sid. 24 minutes, half the hour.
What's my fault? Oh, yeah, hold on.
Here's sure enough now. Who did you want me to have on?
One of the names I suggested was Jon Stewart. What was wrong with that? You talk about him, how much you love him, and then he'd be horrible.
We had him on yesterday, and we had him on the day before.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we
no
did.
Problem. Okay.
Well, were you?
Romano.
Well, he's awful.
What do you mean he's awful?
I have no
he's
interest
like
in talking
to
to him.
TV show
I don't care. I have no interest in talking to him.
How about Kiefer Sutherland from 24?
Oh, God, get out of my studio. I'm begging you.
How about Larry and Rob?
Go hang you, okay? Go hang yourself.
Thanks a lot.
Here's Sid with sports. What's the matter with Chad Pennington?
He's got the flu like everybody else has. I mean, everybody is sick these days. It's unbelievable.
Mark's not. Charles is not. I'm not.
Mark was just sick.
Mark is fine.
He is?
Yeah.
Well, he did come to work every day. Well, Chad will be there on Saturday. Don't worry. He's going to play against the Steelers.
He's going to go to work.
He'll be there. He'll be ready to go.
All right, what else?
Don King suing ESPN for $2.5 billion. You ever see these Sports Century shows that ESPN does where they do like a biographical 30-minute show about an athlete or...
No.
You never saw that?
No.
Okay. Needless to say, they get a bunch of reporters. In fact, Francesca, Lupica Dog, those guys have all done these things.
Yeah.
They take little comments from these people. And in Don King's biography, I guess they kind of portrayed him as a snake oil salesman, a hackster, a murderer, all these horrible things, which are all true, by the way.
Yeah.
And so Don King now has sued ESPN for $2.5 billion.
Right.
And he's going to win, because he wins everything, Don King.
Who won a basketball game last night between North Carolina and...
What did I tell you the other day? You asked me Monday, you said, who's the best basketball team in the country? And without hesitation, what did I say to you?
North Carolina.
And they blew the doors off of Georgia Tech, who came in as the third-ranked team in the country. They've been killing everybody. Maryland, Georgia Tech, all the best competition.
What was the score?
No idea. They beat them by like 16, 17 points, I believe.
How'd Kansas do?
Kansas last night won as well.
Right.
Yeah, and they're ranked number 2 in the country. But North Carolina is the best team in the country. There's no... Even Roy Williams will not mess this thing up. He's found a way to mess up Kansas teams in the past. Even Roy Williams can't screw up this North Carolina team this year. He's going to try, though, but he won't do it.
Well, why are they good? They must have something to do with him, right?
No, nothing to do with him. All those players that are playing great now for North Carolina were recruited by my very good friend Matt Doherty, who was fired by North Carolina a couple of years ago. And Roy Williams comes to North Carolina from Kansas, and now he's reaping the benefits of a recruitment class that was done by Matt Doherty a couple of years ago.
Right.
He's a very overrated coach, Roy Williams.
Didn't he do well at Kansas?
No. I mean, he did well. He had a winning record, but I thought he had a couple of championship-caliber basketball teams that never won.
Right.
So, and Jason Williams played last night, by the way, for the Idaho Stampede in the CBA. Got 9 minutes of action, scored 2 points.
Shot well.
Yeah.
That is horrible. That's a horrible story.
That he's actually playing basketball, right?
Yeah.
His poor limo driver's laying dead somewhere.
Maybe we should get him on.
The limo driver?
No, Jason Williams.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Maybe that'll fix it.
Yeah.
He hasn't been convicted of anything.
No, he hasn't.
Right.
No, he hasn't. No.
Well, anything else?
No, that's really about it. Got the NFL playoff games coming up this weekend, and that's about it.
Well, you've been talking about the NFL playoffs.
Yeah.
Since Monday.
Well, that's what's going on right now.
I understand that, but we haven't had any substantive sports.
No.
Since then.
No, because there's really nothing. We had Randy Johnson and Carlos Beltran the last couple of days. That was fun stuff, no?
What did you think Bill O'Reilly had done with the falafel?
I have no idea. I don't really even know who Bill O'Reilly is, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think I met him once. I'm not sure.
Do you eat falafels?
I eat falafels all the time. I love Middle Eastern food. I eat baba ganoush. I eat shawarma, all that stuff.
Sure.
Well, what's wrong with the falafel?
You eat Irish sausage by any chance?
That was the problem. I thought there was an Irish sausage in my falafel, and I couldn't eat it. But now I've been told that apparently not.
No.
Whole thing was
No.
it's a misunderstanding.
Bill just simply meant a Luftwaffe deal or something.
What is that? What are you talking about?
What is a loofah sponge?
What is that?
It's one of those things in your shower, if you ever venture into it, that it's just like a sponge, a thing that you bathe yourself with. It's a modern day sponge. It absorbs the soap and you can clean yourself.
What happened to a washcloth?
Well, I don't know. Ask Fred Imus. Don't ask me. But that's what it is.
I don't have one of those. I don't even know what he's talking about.
David Blum is coming up.
It shows.
We'll talk to him about what's going on over there at CBS News. He wrote a book about 60 Minutes. And then Bob Schieffer will be coming up.
Terrific.
And to reveal exactly what he has on Russert.
And then Ray Romano.
And then
This other one.
Ray Romano, John Stewart, and Robin Williams. And Brad and Jen.
It's jam-packed today.
Yeah. Billy Bob Thornton, Kiefer Sutherland, and that woman on Alias, Jennifer Garner.
Oh, yeah. Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston.
You know the day destroys the night, night divides the day. Try to run, try to hide, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, yeah. I'm in the morning.
Attention, anyone who does not...
What's 10 grand to me?
You
Ain't
tell
no thing but a chicken
Moss.
wing.
What?
Sure, you tell him, Mr. Moss. Dadgummit.
Oh. Good guy.
Yeah.
It's great to be. It's a great country, isn't it?
He's being honest. He's being honest.
Yeah.
Shake that thing.
Now you want to know what? Now the 9 to 5 guy who's working 8 hours a day making $28,000 a year can't stand these ball players.
No.
Comments like that.
Yeah, but you were defending him.
You're the guy who
I'm still
sniffed their
defending him.
jocks.
I'm still defending him.
Yeah, you're the one sucking up to him all the
Because
time.
I'm not a hypocrite. I don't get up and clap and scream when the guy scores a touchdown and then yell at the guy when he makes comments like this. I take it for what he is. He's a dirtbag. He's an idiot. He's a loser. He's all those things. And for me, he's just a form of entertainment on Sundays. I don't care what he says or what he does.
But then when he comes on your show, you perform journalistic fellatio on the guy.
That's true. I do that, yes.
Like Jeremy Shockey.
Yes,
you don't
I do.
call him on it.
No, I never do that. No, he's right about that. I so badly...
Now you have a big mouth. He's not here.
I so badly want to be liked by all these guys that I do go out of my way to be nice. Yes, it's true. I'm very insecure.
What else going on?
Yeah, you can't tell with the 10.
Football, of course, the Vikings are going to play this weekend, man. They're going to play the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
4 big games this weekend. The Falcons are going to play the Rams. Jets are going to play the Steelers tomorrow. And the best game of the whole weekend features Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts taking on the New England Patriots. And I will tell you, the winner of the Patriots-Colts game will win the Super Bowl.
Right.
My, oh my.
Don't even worry about the AFC Championship. Don't worry about anything else. The winner of that game this Sunday wins the Super Bowl.
You're just writing out the Steelers?
I'm writing them off. Done.
I have goose pimples.
That is really
Yeah, it's pretty good, huh? It's pretty good, right?
Really good.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know much about it.
Right.
But I think Peyton Manning, if he doesn't win in Foxborough on Sunday, or when is it?
That's Sunday, correct, in Foxborough.
Then I mean enough.
He's not good?
I didn't say he wasn't good, but I mean he's not.
He just threw 49 touchdown passes this year and broke Dan Marino's record. What are you saying? Saying if he doesn't play well this weekend, it's just...
Well, he's got to win.
What else if he doesn't, I'm saying?
Well, nothing. It's just warm moon.
Well, then you are at odds with Mike Francesa right now.
Oh, you are.
You are.
There you go.
You're butting heads with the big boy.
Because this is
But
the...
Am I right, Charles?
Mike, I'm loving it, Francesa.
I would think if you're the person to whom you listen more than anybody, the sports doctor...
No. Am I
is at
right
odds
about
with you.
Peyton Manning?
Well, apparently not.
Well, what do you mean apparently not? What's your opinion?
My opinion, I
He's
think
got to
that
win, doesn't he?
that he has he's an extraordinary athlete and has had an exemplary...
Oh, well, God almighty. I mean, you're sickening.
I'm hard to reach Chuck on that one.
I'm down with the doc.
What?
I'm down with the doc.
He's down with the doc.
The sports doctor.
Yeah, but he has to win.
He could put in a good performance and still lose.
Well, the sports doctor says even if he has a bad game, one game does not define his career.
No. These are the kinds of games you have to win.
I happen to agree with you.
So,
Either you step up or you...
right.
Yeah.
This has got to be one of the first times that you've actually gone the other way, where you just say...
What would have happened had Joe Namath played well in the Super Bowl, 3 or whatever it was, against Baltimore, but had not won?
What would have happened?
Yeah. It wouldn't be...
There would be no Broadway Joe.
Well, he would have looked stupid because he guaranteed it. That's
That's right. Exactly right. There you go. Sure.
Really stupid.
Whoa, whatever. Well, things would not be the same. Yeah.
Marino never won a ring, right?
No, he never did. He only played one Super Bowl.
Great?
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Manning's only been in the league 7 years.
He's actually not in the Hall of Fame.
Going to
right
be.
this time, right? He's a finalist with Steve Young this time around. He'll be in the Hall of Fame this summer.
Whatever.
Yeah. What? I'm giving you the specifics. You always yell at me that I have everything really correct, so I'm telling you Dan Marino is right now a finalist for the Hall of Fame. And he will be in the Hall of Fame very soon.
That's fine.
But he never won a ring.
You got to win the game. You got to win the big game.
You got to win it. You got to win it.
I mean, Fran Tarkenton went to Super Bowl how many times?
He went to,
Four.
He played three.
Oh.
I think Kemp played the other one.
Right.
Joe Cap. Excuse me, not Kemp. Joe Cap.
Right.
And he lost them all. Tarkenton. Right. But what's your point? I don't understand.
Well, Bradshaw won 4 times. How many did he win?
He won 4 out of 4. But he also had Franco Harris and Rocky Blyer and
No,
come on.
This new year, don't count calories. Count the savings with Zero Plus at your Dodge dealer.
But I could make him do it, but I mean, what's the point?
Well, they got to look in the mirror.
Kind of surprised about that, though, aren't you? Why? You would think, what difference does it make? It's a great speech. People want to hear it.
And it is the day.
Yeah.
We have the observation.
But I mean, I don't know what there's got to be they can't possibly think that, well, this is going to be a day where, the ratings are going to be so affected. What do you think their thinking is, Lou?
I don't know but Mark seems to have a thing with it. I really don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Of course not.
Oh, no, I don't.
It's compelling.
I don't.
Every time you hear it.
Yeah. And I hear it every year when I'm putting the show together.
It's compelling, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think if you're going to hear something that happened in history, Monday's the day, like you just said.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what.
Well, then, but what is their thing? Get him in here. Maybe he can explain what his thinking is. Does he think it affects ratings for that day?
People have heard it before.
I mean, I don't.
No, absolutely not.
Well, what is your thinking?
Because it's a holiday and I want everybody to be able to hear it. So we play it later in the morning because it's a holiday. People don't get up and go to work as early in the morning. That's why I suggest 9:30.
You know something? You know what?
That's absolutely right.
Good. That's not a bad answer.
That's
good.
a great
pretty
answer.
good. That's good. That's pretty good. You're full of it.
I am not.
And you're a lying little skunk. But
I am
that's
not.
Good.
I am
but
not.
But that's not a bad answer.
All right.
Hand it to you.
That's
pretty good.
I'll see you later.
Get out of here, you jerks. 21 till they are.
All the girls walk by, dressed up for each other. Yeah, the boys do the boogie woogie on the corner of the street. And the people passing by, staring wide wonder. Yeah, the inside jukebox goes out just like thunder. And everything looks so complete when you walk out on the street. And the wind touches your feet, and you fly
This is Darrell, the most dangerous. You see, Pat Buchanan's coming up. Then we'll talk with Omar Minaya, who is the general manager of the Mets, close friend to President Bush, when President Bush owned the Texas Rangers. Mr. Minaya was there. What did he do for the Texas Rangers when Bush was there?
He was a scout.
He was?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Joan and Melissa Rivers will be on this morning to talk about the Golden Globes. And
are they coming in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like Melissa. She's great.
She blossomed into a
she has, yeah.
tasty-looking thing.
Yeah.
But first of all, I don't even know what the Golden Globes are. So
it's an award show. It's like
I know that, but I mean
like the People's Choice Awards, and all these. This time of year they have like 30 of these award shows.
Another frivolous pat themselves on the back.
Absolutely.
Wasted 3 hours.
That's all it is.
But the Golden Globes are something awarded by who?
It's an international thing as opposed to an American
thing. A foreign press deal or something?
Something like that.
Right. Yeah. But everybody shows up for it, right?
Yeah, I suppose it can be a predictor for...
A precursor for the Academy Awards?
Very good.
Okay.
It's a big night. Big night.
Happy birthday to Maureen Dowd today.
All right.
Here's Don from Western North Carolina on line 3. Good morning, Don.
Hey, Don. How are you?
All right.
Yeah, it's her birthday today. I looked up her bio, and it's January 14th.
Yeah.
So, we can all wish Maureen Dad a happy birthday.
Do you like her? You hot for her?
She's a real nice-looking woman.
No.
I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Did you read her column?
Look at
What?
Sid shaking his head.
Did you read her column yesterday or whenever it was? Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, I tend to read it online.
No.
Not always the same day, but
She sounded desperate yesterday, didn't she?
Well, she didn't bash Bush for a change, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah.
So
you didn't read her column, did you?
I guess not.
No, you're lying. Get off my phone. You're irritating me.
She sounded borderline bitter, actually.
Yeah, she wrote a column about...
Oh, yeah, about not being able to find a man.
Rich, powerful men marrying,
Yeah.
their secretaries and manicurists.
Because they don't want
Or whatever, it's airline stewardesses.
They don't want to have to talk to them. They want women who are deferential.
Right.
Certainly.
I mean, come on. Well, you needed a column to inform people of this?
Men just want mommy was, I believe, what she said.
Well, yeah, that was...
They want some overachieving bitch bossing them around.
No, she's just expressing her personal, indignation over the situation, that she really ought to have her...
I don't see these powerful women dating, auto mechanics, by the way.
It's not true. Cher once married a bagel guy.
Yeah, there are exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
I'll grant you.
Right. Well, there is. Women do the same thing. But Lou thinks Maureen Dowd's a freak, right?
Well, look at her. You can tell.
How come I can't tell? I thought I'm pretty good with that stuff. I
Well, you
can't
can
tell.
tell. It's bottled up in her, and she wants to...
Can you imagine?
Yeah, she wants to unleash, like Charles said yesterday.
Absolutely. I mean, that...
You can tell.
Yeah.
She got it so pent up that you get her, and finally there'll be an explosion.
Yeah.
You can't see that?
What happened?
I don't see it.
Explosion? You don't?
No.
Okay. Why don't you see it?
Because I'm looking on the internet. I'm looking at Maureen Dowd. I'm looking up Sarah Michelle Gellar or Jenna Jameson.
Look at the Rolling Stone
Wow,
picture.
the one where she looks drunk and she fell down the stairs? Like Glenn Close in the middle of Fatal Attraction?
Okay, so it's not the most flattering picture. You can tell it's in...
That's a pretty good picture. What do you mean not the most flattering picture? It's a pretty good picture.
Well, probably there's better pictures of her that she's taken, but...
You know what it's
Well,
called?
I bet there are.
I bet there are,
Like
too.
that we can't
20 years
see.
ago.
Yeah.
I mean, compared, I guess, to other authors and stuff and writers, I guess she's okay. In that genre, she's okay.
Great.
But I'm not going on the internet looking at pictures of Maureen Dowd. She's about the 9 millionth lady I'm looking for pictures for.
Well, when you're turning the pages, were you surprised to see her?
Look at her. She looks like a drunken fool. Look at her. She's
No.
4 o'clock in the morning.
That's a good picture.
She just smoked a bong and the husband knocked her down the stairs.
She's not married. That's the problem.
That's her, and
She
there's
looks
a
like-
tsunami in there waiting to hit the shore.
No, but to be honest, she actually looks good.
Oh, she's great.
Exaggerated.
Come on.
Now, somebody,
For a woman in her early 50s, come on.
She looks good.
as Charles said, somebody's got the key to the freak door.
Absolutely. Well, Louis got it because he loves her.
Yeah, Lou does love her.
What's wrong? I don't see anything wrong with her. I mean,
She's a banana with a lot of brown spots on it. Little past
I don't think.
Well,
perfect
let me-
ripeness, but tastes very good.
Let me tell you who might have the key to her freak door.
Who's that?
Rick Kaplan.
oh, no.
Well, he's available, by the way.
Oh, God.
What?
Come on.
And he's willing to overlook that sell-by date, so...
How much are you willing to go down on this guy? He still looks like Baby Huey.
I still,
Come on. Don't
yeah,
ruin
but
it.
I like him.
Don't ruin it for me.
Well, ruin what for you?
Rick Kaplan, come on.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not good?
No.
All right, no, scratch Rick.
Don't tell me about anybody.
I dare them
I'd rather
to put up
nobody.
a full body picture of Rick Kaplan right now.
No.
Yeah,
Back
you
up what
can
I
see
just
them
said.
walking down the street hand in hand together.
No, that's not good.
no.
You're right.
See that?
You're right.
No.
How about a picture of Rick Kaplan sitting at the bottom of the stairs like that?
You probably have a photo album of those.
Here's me in 67. Here's me in 69.
Oh, they look like Joe Walsh. Not until the hour. All right. Maybe one of the things you need to do to get get on that freak door to get the key to...
States, William Jefferson Clinton.
I must say that after feeling as though the president and I had become so much closer recently, I was somewhat surprised to find that his new nominee for Homeland Security Secretary is the same guy who went after me with such zeal during my administration. The way Mike Chertoff attacked those Whitewater and Vince Foster deals, he acted like he was a pit bull and I had a rump roast in my pants. Although I honestly think Judge Chertoff is a wonderful choice, if for no other reason than the ACLU hates him. Whenever they come out against anything, I'm automatically for it. I don't care how liberal you are. Those whiny bastards start complaining about something or somebody, you're immediately a staunch supporter of it. Hell, I'd vote for a tougher Patriot Act just because those weenies were so against it. And speaking of voting against things, my wife was the only one in the Senate who said nay when Judge Chertoff was nominated for appeals court. Boy, that woman sure can't hold a grudge, man. I mean, it's been years since the whole Monica deal, and yet to this day, we'll be at the breakfast table, and I'll ask her to pass the salt, and she'll scream out, "Why don't you have your whore pass it to you?" I don't know why she's so against old Mikey. You'd think she'd be a little more simpatico, seeing as how he's been so outspoken about there being a need for more, quote, creative legal thinking in Congress and the White House, unquote. Well, nobody's a more creative legal thinker than Hillary. She's the one who gave me the "it all depends on what your definition of the word is." And she found some pretty creative ways of losing them billing records. Hell, I still stumble across one every once in a while. In fact, the other day, one of them turned up in a stack of my old Hustler magazines. I think we need somebody scary to take care of them terrorists, man, and Chertoff is just the guy for the job. Well, just look at him. He's got that Christopher Lee as Dracula thing going on. He ain't just going to bring these animals to justice. He's going to suck their blood. Now, if I could just get him a clear shot at my wife's neck, let him have a little drink. She may not have much, but it sure is cold.
2 minutes till the hour here on the Imus Morning program. On the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. MSNBC has video Randy Moss's comments, apparently. Somebody had a camera cranked up there in Minnesota yesterday when a dude was on the street. So maybe Bigfoot could roll out. Let me check it out. All right. Randy Moss, Minnesota Vikings.
Randy, were you upset about the fight?
No, because it ain't up at 10 grand. It's 10 grand to me. It ain't next time I might shake my
He had his hood on. He had a sweatshirt with a hood. He was getting in his SUV or something. Yeah. Where's 10 grand to me? He asked the gentleman for a comment. Right. Absolutely. Well, when he finds out he doesn't have any money in about 6-7 years, then 10 grand. 10 grand will be a lot. And then he'll suddenly realize, oh, wait a minute. So he's got a squeegee in his hand. Well, we're going to try to get Bernard to get a hold of some people so we can try to work this situation out regarding our trip to Washington and find out who's happening and who we should have on. Right. You know? We could book anybody, but...
By the way, Maureen Dowd is unavailable. In case people are wondering, well, why not Maureen Dowd?
Well, she's lying.
Right. So...
Yeah. Where would she be going? Well, right. What's she got to do? What does she have to do?
Rehab?
She writes Bush World. Right. And she's not going to be there for the Bush inauguration? That's outrageous. Writes her little... She's not going to be going around to the balls to write about that? Oh, please. Come on. This is WFAN in New York and Infinity Broadcasting Radio Station. Part of the Viacom deal. Some big news at Infinity. We'll get to that in a minute, but first time for the news, and here that is Charles McCoy. Good morning, Stupid. Couple of the headline stories. State police are at the goal. Microwave and the new stove. Honey. 5 minutes after the hour here in the Imus Morning program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. Well, Joey comes to me, DeFazio, and says, I have a Wurlitzer Elvis Presley edition jukebox in my office with 100 of the best CDs, in my estimation, ever made. But not all. I mean, there's some of them that are marginal. And so he he now wants to know if he can have my Pink Floyd, Fleetwood Mac, Zeppelin 4, Neil Young, and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young CDs to put on his iPod.
Ah, okay.
I said, well, okay. Happy birthday to Maureen Dowd, who, well, her column yesterday was troubling in that...
really, a cry for help.
Yeah. Now, Lou Ruffino thinks that... what do you think, Lou?
Well, she looks great. She looks great. You got the perfect combination right there. Brains, beauty.
Well,
and she's freaky.
Well, we don't know this. How do you know she's freaky?
No, you can tell the visits she's had
If
here.
you couldn't tell it from that column, I mean, it was boiling right under the typeface.
And then that photograph of her on the stairs there in Rolling Stone.
That's just the tip of the iceberg right there.
But Charles claims with Maureen Dowd you need the key to the freak door.
Well, you got to be. And I'm frankly, consider myself as a person who would be carrying that particular device, that key.
You have the key to Maureen Dowd's freak door?
Absolutely. I know exactly what I would do. Precisely. Of course.
So take a step by
obvious. You need to, you need to...
You have the combination to a love safe?
Absolutely. I know how to rub that bottle to let that genie out.
Maureen, how are you? It's Charles.
You bet.
I'm a little early tonight, but...
I just can't see you and Maureen Dowd.
Perfect. Perfect. I mean, were I not already in a very, very committed relationship?
Well, you married your sister.
Well, that's what I said. Very committed relationship in that it is a blood thing. Please. Good grief.
We'd have a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Is Pat Buchanan married, I wonder? There's another guy I think will put on a pair of women's underwear on the weekend for you.
Sure.
Sing some show tunes.
Sure. Whatever it takes, baby.
Rub a falafel.
I love Buchanan, by the way.
He is great, isn't he?
Well, we got a lot of news for you. Because we are on the radio all over the country, and we are on MSNBC. There's a... Well, at least I think it's amusing. There's a story... Well, apparently Mr. Buchanan is married, I've been informed. Here's the front page of Business Day, New York Times. Future of 60 Minutes Wednesday in doubt. And I don't know why I think this is funny. I just do.
You can't make it up.
Leslie Moonves, the chairman of CBS and co-president of the network's parent company Viacom, said in a telephone interview with Bill Carter from the New York Times that Mr. Rather was expected to continue his career at CBS on the Wednesday. Listen to this carefully.
Okay.
Was expected to continue his career at CBS on the Wednesday edition of 60 Minutes after he steps down as the network's primary anchor in March, provided the show continues.
Okay.
Now, this is even just better.
Okay.
The program is guaranteed to be on the air through May, when the current television season ends, Mr. Moonves said, and here's his comment about the Wednesday edition of 60 Minutes. This is Les Moonves.
Yeah.
They are not exactly tearing it up in the ratings over there. So there's a lot of Mel in him, isn't there? I mean, that's just the deal, isn't it?
Pretty funny.
Congratulations to Joel Hollander. Speaking of that, Viacom announced yesterday that Mr. Hollander will become well, let me just read it to you from the New York Times.
This is huge.
Oh, this is huge.
Yep.
Viacom named Joel Hollander yesterday as chairman and chief executive of its Infinity radio unit, Infinity Broadcasting, which owns WFA and a couple hundred other stations around the country, 6 or 7 here in New York alone. Mr. Hollander, who had been president and chief operating officer, will succeed John Sykes, who will take a new role in Viacom's MTV networks, overseeing the development and introduction of new branded television networks.
And still your guy, bro.
No, I know that, Joe. Thank you.
That is a great tie. Funny stuff last 20 minutes. I'm your guy, bro.
Yes, I know that.
I'm your guy.
The management change.
Look at my face.
No, I can't look at your face and read.
No. Serious. I'm your guy.
The management change comes as Viacom steps up efforts to increase its radio business amid a slump in the radio industry.
What do you need? I'm your guy. So just tell me, what do you need? Done.
Have I ever refused you?
Look at my face. When have I ever not gotten it done for you? Look at my face.
Okay.
Done.
That's fine.
No, done. Done.
Anyway, congratulations to...
Absolutely.
He's
a good guy.
Couldn't think of a better guy, actually, for him. We've known him a long time in various capacities, and he's well-deserved, and he's brilliant, so... And Sykes, who, what does that mean for Sykes? That isn't much. That's about one rung above spending more time with your family.
That's almost a Dan Rather to 60 Minutes Wednesday move.
Well, Sykes came from VH1.
Yeah.
And MTV.
Right.
So he's more a television guy than a radio guy, which he demonstrated.
He's going back there now.
But Sykes is a very good guy. He and Santulli, those are the guys that brought this
stand-up,
and he's a stand-up guy, Sykes is. And they brought this, to my attention, and now yours, and now these various weasel congressmen and senators, the disgraceful situation at Walter Reed Army Hospital and the situation with the chump change they were giving these kids' families who were killed in Iraq and Afghanistan. And that disgraceful situation involving the insurance for these soldiers.
Yeah.
So, well, congratulations to Joel Hollander and all those folks. It's 12 minutes after the hour. What's going on?
Some pretty big swath of the country dealing with flooding. Indiana's been hit with widespread flooding. The entire state under either a flood watch or a flood warning. In addition, flood warnings are in effect in areas stretching from central Michigan to northeast Texas. And then out in the west, officials in Ventura County, California, have concluded their effort to find any further survivors in the wake of the La Conchita mudslide that killed 10 people. The fire chief there says there are no significant voids in the mud where there may be air pockets that would still keep somebody alive.
The network news here on the Imus Morning Program is sponsored by Bigelow Tea, which is the official tea of the Imus Morning Program.
The next generation of professional terrorists is being trained in Iraq. The Washington Post cites a report by the National Intelligence Council, the CIA director's think tank, that says Iraq has overtaken Afghanistan in terrorist preparation. David Lowe, National Intelligence Officer for Transitional Threats, says Iraq provides terrorists with a training ground, recruitment ground, and the chance to enhance technical skill. President Bush has described the Iraq war as an integral part of the U.S. effort overall to combat terrorism. Senior Iraqi official estimates about half of the country's 15 million voters will take part in this month's national election. Officials had been hoping for a higher turnout to add legitimacy to the results, but says the new figure will be okay for Iraq at the moment. Special UN envoy will be appointed to lead rebuilding and relief efforts for last month's tsunami victims in Asia. In Mauritius today, Secretary General Kofi Annan said he had been asked to make the appointment by international donors. Told a news conference he hoped to name the coordinator by late next week. And Britain's Prince Harry, created all the uproar over wearing the Nazi uniform, has the Duchess of York in his corner. Sarah Ferguson, Louis, told the BBC that Harry needs to be left alone.
I think it's time for the press to back up a bit and let him get on with his life.
Shut up, you fat pig. It's a quarter. Just going on in a Nazi uniform.
Hello? Come on.
It's a quarter after the hour. The New York Stock Exchange business report is coming up.
Every day, every year is a new challenge, and that brings out the best in everyone in the company, because in order to continue continue to find places to discover oil and gas, to find places.
Now, for 2 hours, it won't kill you to love the French.
Sports Radio 66, and WFAN New York.
We'll squeeze in a couple of phone calls before dog at the top. You by Lee Miles. Foreign or domestic, nobody knows transmissions better than Lee Miles. For the independently owned and operated Lee Miles Transmission Center nearest you, call 1-800-LEE-MILES. It's currently 28 degrees in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco with 2020 Sports on WFAN, your flagship station for the NFL playoffs.
Do you want to remodel your bath but dread the expensive tub and wall system? They do showers, too. And for a limited time, get 0% financing and make no payments till January 06. Call 1-888-6-NEW-TUB. That's 1-888, the number 6, NEWTUB. Bath fitter, the seamless experience. Financing through third-party provider subject to approval.
Chris Russo. Sports Radio 66, WFAN New
York. Good morning, everybody. How are you today on a Saturday morning in New York, the 15th day of January of the year 2005. Good to have you with us on a busy day. 718-937-6666. Eddie Erickson and Mike Emergis is back from the mudslides in California as we chat to you about what's happening in the world of sports. We've got a huge NFL weekend. It's really, the last huge sports weekend where both days are occupied for a long time. So shut the kids out, leave their wife somewhere else, and get yourself stored up in a room and not be bothered between 4:30 and midnight tonight and between, 1 and 9 o'clock tomorrow night. See you later. Honey, I'll see you Monday morning. Oh, you know what? I'll see you Tuesday. Day to regroup. That's the bottom line here as far as the NFL is concerned. And I have a fourth year. Let me start the program by saying this. Happy birthday to Kira Grace Russo, who is 4 today. And that is Daddy's birthday gift. Don't leave me alone. Right there. Kira Grace is 4. Amazing. Unbelievable. Okay, here we go. Giants. Baseball, no. Met baseball, no. Yankee baseball, no. Today is a football weekend.
I wear black, even...
Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
Well, say good afternoon to you, and how you be at 5:05 and 10 seconds on a Saturday afternoon on your fan, New York City. Steve Summers here, and you there, Mike D. Police. It's the Emergis. Dan Cronin. They're on the other side of the glass. 1-718-937-6666. The number for what'll be a Saturday weekend warrior NFL New York Jets Pittsburgh Steelers schmooze. Pennington just got himself intercepted. Is that Palomulo? I think that's Palomulo that just made the interception on Pennington. And he